Just tell me when we start.
I think we just did. Let me
Okay.
double check.
If so,
I don't see it on the YouTube channel yet.
Yeah, but there's latency.
yeah. Let's
wait,
just give it a sec
it's
before
there.
we.
All right, it's up.
Is it there? Okay. I just wanted to give it. I just wanted to give it a little bit before we started.
I'm not hearing anything.
We started introductions.
Wait, you're not hearing anything?
Oh, it's really quiet, Eric. It's so
What?
quiet.
My Streamlab says it's like almost peaking. How is that quiet?
I have it. I have it on max volume on both my headset and YouTube, and I can barely hear it.
How about now? Now we're like in the yellow. I show you
Sounds fine
headphones
to me,
plugged
but
in?
I don't know.
Yes.
This is well,
All right,
starting
I
off
took a listen
great.
to it and it sounds good to me.
I can hear it better.
Starting off great. Okay. Hello and welcome to the 1 year celebration. Boo 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 boo.
Yes, we are here to celebrate 1 year of Otaku Oasis podcast live. Although I don't know how much of that we'll cover, but
I'm not
regardless,
prepared anything
I'm
from live.
here. It's fine. We don't really need to, but
What did we even do in the
here.
live? Let's be
I'm
honest.
Joshua.
Uh,
I mean, we haven't done too much. It's a lot of editing that needs to be done. But regardless,
What? No,
I'm Joshua.
I have no backlog.
no, we have a bigger backlog. Don't worry.
I'm here. Yeah. But I'm here with Eric and Matt. Say hi.
I'm
Hi.
Eric. Me and
I'm
Matt are both
Matt.
co-hosts. Josh is the guy that started this all. So if you hate us, blame him.
I mean,
Yeah. Fuck.
you're my friends. But
Yeah.
I hate how
um,
I hate how I keep fat fingering the enter button when I'm writing out messages.
I do that.
ouch. Yeah, but no, I mean, to be honest, this was just a fun little thing that we kind of started just based off of wanting to cover the Tweiwi anime because both me and Eric were, well, I had never seen it and Eric had obviously seen it if any of you had seen the 7 Days podcast.
I might love it a little
Speaking
too
of-
much.
Yeah, but actually, speaking of, we are going to cover a bit of our first two videos today. So
Yeah.
we are going to do that, followed up by just kind of going over like some of our thumbnails and maybe a bit of progression there, and just kind of how we felt about this year as a whole. And then we'll just kind of end it off by just kind of going over like just our favorite things in media in general, kind of. So
Yeah.
I think that's kind of our plan.
Yeah. Do you want to actually
We are.
queue up thumbnails while we're doing this and like maybe show up like some of the prototypes for like Komi and stuff?
I don't have the prototypes saved, but yes, I can.
Well,
pull
they're on
it up.
Discord.
Just let me grab my. Are they?
Yeah, you sent them to
Well, I
me.
guess I mean for some of them.
Yeah.
For some of them, but I don't think all of them.
Nah, we can look.
Like the. I mean, I can at least I guess I could pin the original two Komis probably. Just give me a sec to find it. Just start queuing up the videos if you want, Eric.
Yeah, I will be doing that. Yeah, so when we say first two videos, it's actually gonna be the first video that I appeared in, and the first video that Matt appeared in, because those are two different ones. There was
It
like
was My Hero, right, Josh?
yeah, it was My Hero.
Oh God, Josh?
Yes.
Can we redo the My Hero episode at some point?
Yeah, no, that was the plan.
Yeah,
Just need to get around to it, obviously.
We're trying to
No,
redo.
There's a
not
lot of
that
things,
one.
really.
I meant redo the first My Hero episode because I'm still frustrated with how that turned out.
Yeah, dude, we tried to redo
those of
7
you-
days and that
I mean,
didn't
sure.
finish.
For those of you who haven't seen it, I drop a massive spoiler within the first 5 minutes of the episode,
Oh, great.
and I
Yeah,
didn't
like,
even
I
do a
felt like
spoiler
we did
warning.
that.
Yeah, no, because I had people, I had sent it to people, and people were like, "Yo, dude, what the fuck? Why did you say that?" So yeah,
It was
I'd
before
like
we
to-
had kind of set up the style.
Yeah, it was
and
before we had
format.
figured out how we were gonna do it. I would like to redo that episode at some point. Can we not do that episode? Because I don't like that episode.
We're doing it.
Aw, dang it.
We're doing it, and we're
Well,
facing the
but there's-
shame.
For those of you who are seeing it,
Yeah, no,
spoiler
that's
alerts now.
don't worry. Yeah, that's why I was going to say I was gonna mention just yeah, this is kind of spoilers for when we cover it. Maybe
How do I
just sent it to you.
How do I add this video? Okay. Video capture device? No, it's not a device. It's on my media source. No, window capture. That's what I need. Oh wait, no, media source. That works. Add a new source.
Yeah, no, I only have the final version that I sent to you.
Open.
Hello, welcome to the Otaku Oasis podcast channel. This is the 7 Days podcast where we will be covering the Toei anime and any other potential Toei related
also apply
news
the audio,
during
right?
this time. I am one of the members, Joshua, and this is my co-host, Eric.
Dude, I have no clue how Streamlabs works.
And we will be covering this from the perspective of Eric, who has played the game, and myself, who has not. So this should be an interesting experience, to say the least. So do we want to get started with the anime or the game first?
Let's go with the Neo Toei news. That came out before
Want me to just...
the
Oh
animation
wait, no,
came
it's
out.
playing the audio.
Yeah, that came out like around midnight
It
our
is?
time.
Okay, I was about to test the stream, but...
We actually
I was
pulled
just
that
gonna pull
I
up
could just
the base thing.
watch it as we're discussing it.
Yeah, but I can't hear
What
it.
was your take
So I
on
don't need
it?
it.
I'm very curious.
Yeah, you guys also can't hear it because I'm not even streaming it to you guys.
I mean, it
No,
seemed
but
like maybe
I'm
they were
watching
setting
it
up,
on
like,
the
kind
stream
of
and
like
I can
a
hear it.
team sort of mechanic thing, and like
There are
where
too
you
many
would,
voices
fight
playing
other
at
teams,
once.
which
Yeah, I
could
know.
kind of be
Let's
seen
end
in the
this. Let's
gameplay
end
maybe,
this.
but that's
Uh,
just speculation
we'll
on
move.
Did we
my
fully
part.
think this through?
Yeah,
no,
there's
we did
definitely
not, but it's fine.
I mean...
Well- Okay. Window capture. This is just better. Add a new source. Okay. Wait a second. So I'm gonna hit that. Done. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, just let me know when you start it up, because I've got
Well, I'm
the
gonna be putting
videos
on
pulled up on my
Discord.
side.
I'm gonna just put it on
Oh, you are?
Discord.
Oh, okay.
Share screen. Oh gosh, what just happened? We planned things out ahead of time.
Sure we do. Oh, Eric, you need to fix
Ah.
that on the stream overlay.
What? That's fine.
It was so big. There
Yeah,
you go.
I fixed it.
There you go.
Oh gosh, I changed it again. I didn't realize it's actually like going based off the size of the window.
Congratulations, Eric.
Okay, there we go. Oh no, we lost a viewer.
I don't know. That's so sad, Alex.
Okay.
So play Despacito.
Don't play Despacito, that'll get us copyright striked.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, I have my you-know-who plugged in. I'm surprised it didn't turn on.
I know, I have mine plugged in too, but then I remembered I'm in headphones.
Yeah.
Okay, ready? Let's go. What's the volume on this thing? I don't think we have audio going to this
Gosh.
stream.
This intro is so...
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
You
boy.
were so,
Well,
so fast.
Okay, wait. How does audio work?
What,
Audio
am I speaking,
output.
or...
Yeah, you're speaking. You were so quick with it. You were just trying to... It felt like you had a script in front of you and you were trying to get through it as fast as you could.
I mean, nerves probably played a bit in it, because it was my first time ever
That makes
recording.
sense.
Oh wait, okay, wait. I know how to fix this. Okay, file. No.
I don't know. I
edit.
feel like I've become a bit better with it over time, but honestly, it's hard to tell because I don't really watch my content because I don't want to listen to my voice.
Wait.
Which I think is just a common thing among the three of us.
Yeah, actually, I'm okay with my voice now because of the podcast and having to edit so much.
I've gotten better with it over the years, but I wouldn't say I'm there yet.
Loop. Okay, why am I not able to figure this out? Oh, gosh. This is gonna be a while. Give me a sec. Did partial done some testing. Ah! It's fine. I just needed to go.
I'm not gonna. No offense, but I can't stick around forever.
Yeah, I know. I legit can't figure this out though. I need this to go to 2 different places. I don't know how to change the audio output.
Eric, it's fine if the audio doesn't appear. I mean, if people understand that we're talking about it, and you at least have the thumbnail up, I think.
Or just have here. I'll pull it up, and then we can just watch it, and I'll stream it to you guys, and you can stream it to the thing, and we'll just play it at the same time. What video am I doing?
Sounds bad. The first video on the channel, and then also the first My Hero video.
You like watching me suffer, don't you?
Well, I mean, if you're pulling it up, if you want, you could technically pull up the second My Hero video.
I
but...
might just do that. Nah. We'll keep it. We're not gonna watch the whole video. We'll just probably do,
we're only gonna watch like 5 minutes, like intro, and then like fast forward through it, or like skip around in it.
I think we'll do the intro for this one, but then we'll just skip to the other ones because I don't like this video. My video. All right, you guys in?
Nope.
Yeah. I mean, if you want, you could maybe also just skip to the end.
Okay, wait. How do I
on that one as well? But
yeah, we'll just do the beginning and end on this one on my end because I also have to start getting ready for work.
How do I stream this though? That's the real question.
Oh, I see.
You just stream the video to the thing, and we'll hit play at the same time, even though there'll be a little delay, but that's fine.
Oh, but I have to pull up on my.
Yeah.
I can't do that. I don't know how to do that. That's why I was avoiding using
what
YouTube.
You were doing. What you were doing before, do it again.
But no, the problem was there's no audio in the stream. That was the issue.
There was. I could hear it.
Yeah.
So whatever you did that first time, it worked.
Oh yeah. But okay. That was media source.
Oh, Josh, who's it's Ryuku's the dragon hero, right?
Who?
From My Hero, the dragon lady who can transform into a dragon from My Hero.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Ryukyu.
Yeah, I have a sticker of her for you because I think you said you liked her.
Yes.
I just obtained one, so I got a sticker for you.
Okay. Open.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, started.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome to the Otaku Oasis podcast channel. This is the 7 Days podcast where we will be covering this is the 7 Days podcast where we will be covering the anime and any other time. I am related news. I am one of the members, Joshua, and this is my co-host. I am one of the members, Joshua, and this is my co-host. And we will be covering this from the perspective of, and we will be covering games, and myself who has not, so this should be so this should be an interesting. So do we want to get started with the anime or the game first? So do we want to get started with
let's go with
the anime or the game
Neo
first?
Tway News.
Yeah.
Let's go with that came out.
Honestly, probably should have gone over
Tway News. The animation came out. That came out.
Yeah, that came out like around midnight our time. Yeah, that came out like around midnight our time.
We never plan them out.
We actually pull it up so I can just watch it as we're discussing it. So I can just. What was your take on it? I'm very curious because
part of the fun of it. I mean.
Yeah.
I mean. It seemed like maybe they were setting up like kind of like a team sort of mechanic thing, and like where you'd like fight other teams, which can kind of be seen in the gameplay maybe.
But
that's just speculation on my part. But.
We'll get used
Yeah,
to it.
no, there's definitely it seemed like there's a lot of
Takes
teams, which
practice.
was not really a thing in the first game.
I definitely think we're getting
We
better.
had partners, but there's only
Downside is
ever
half the
2
times I
people
record
per
with you guys,
partner.
I'm like
Yeah,
exhausted
like,
and
and you
barely
can see in
paying
the
attention.
customization menu that there was like a party
Can
of
we
4
talk
this
about
time.
this
Yeah.
thumbnail?
Yeah, and like
Curious to see how that'll go.
Yeah, I'm gonna
we
pause
saw
it
that
there.
probably
Yeah.
Switch
But I
characters
can't
as
pause
well,
on
most
mine,
likely.
I don't know
Yeah,
how
well,
I don't know how it's doing this.
yeah,
I can't
so
control
we saw that in
it
the
at
first
all.
one as well.
It's playing
that
the
those 4
video, but
playable
I can't
characters.
control the video.
Not 4 playable characters, but 4.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Like 4
characters in the cast.
protagonists.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you. But anyways, what do you
And-
want to talk about the thumbnail?
It's just weird because
yeah, I'm just gonna turn on the volume. It's whatever. We're doing great. We're doing great. Just look how like busy this one was. Like busy,
Yeah,
but like
why
bland.
do you have the same person twice in it?
No, so that was a thing we did. So the group shot was always there, but like then we would highlight an individual. In this case, it was the first episode of the anime, so we were highlighting Neku. And then we also had we're talking about Neo Tweiwi news, and in the Neo Tweiwi news we like put window. But yeah, it's a little much.
Not your best. No offense. Not your best. Not your best.
Well, yeah, we have the baby blue for like the main background, and then we have like a random like painted on Doka blue box, and like random painted on black.
Yeah, I mean, if you I don't know if you have this on you, Eric, but if you like compare it like the first episode compared to like our new game plus like our new 7 days one, which we need to kind of get back to as well. But if you pull up that one like comparatively,
let me see if I can find
All right. So, what do you think's our favorite thumbnail?
Favorite thumbnail. I would actually have to go through. Let me look at that real quick.
Yeah, I kind of like the Demon Slayer, the latest Demon Slayer one. That one's pretty good.
the Set Your Heart Ablaze one.
Yeah.
Let me look real quick.
I think
I am
not
very...
the second one is good. It's just the fact that it's obviously a poster where the lines just stop kind of confuses me.
Yeah, I tried my best to not make it look as weird, but it's...
But like I like the background out of it. It looks really good. I also recognize that Eric's probably not able to show what we're talking about.
I don't know how to save thumbnails from YouTube.
I'd say you want me to stream, but I don't. No offense, I don't want to be in charge of it.
Yeah.
Oh no! You know what? Actually, I found my favorite. It's our Nintendo Direct from September 23rd.
I was gonna say that was exactly what I was gonna say. I was gonna say my favorite is that one because I was the one that made that. For those of you who don't know,
or
the
discussion.
thumbnail.
There's a prediction. Yeah.
The discussion one. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's Eric, where it's Jack Black Bowser with Eric's Jack Black Bowser. I'm Chris Pratt Mario, and Josh is the other guy, Charlie Day Luigi.
That one is my absolute favorite.
That's a good one. That's a pretty good one.
I had so much fun making that one. If you guys couldn't tell, and it was just like literally the thought process behind it was, I am the chaotic force in that episode. Like I was just going off, and then like Matt was such a huge fan of Chris Pratt. And the M worked. So I was just
the M worked. Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? He's got to be our Mario. He's the man.
I am the leader of this group. You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
I don't know. When
I had
it comes
so much
to my
fun.
favorite one, my favorite one, I'm either between my One Piece thumbnail or
the One Piece one is pretty good.
Or I actually prefer the reaction thumbnail over the discussion thumbnail.
Which one? The
for the September 23rd one.
Yeah, I'm gonna just remove
the one with the Kirby and all the other ones in the corners.
I don't know why.
You don't know what, like, I just... That one's the one that I had like the most fun editing.
Actually, the first My Hero one's pretty good.
I mean, that one's like literally just a shot from the opening. I'm
yeah,
like,
no, but
it looks great. I didn't do much.
No.
Let's just real quick. I'm pulling it up.
Now,
let's compare the thumbnail or the logo.
Let's look at the original E3 one. What were we doing?
The Nintendo Direct one or the predictions one?
The predictions one, where it's just yellow and red and then a bunch of logos slapped on there.
Well, yellow and red was because that's the E3.
I did that.
I get it, but I can't tell if I'm just looking at it weird. That line between the yellow and red doesn't even look straight.
It is
like it probably
like
is
as straight as can be humanly possible, but it just looks kind of weird like from afar.
Yeah.
Also, I think just because the resolution for it is not the greatest.
Yeah.
I think I messed up with something for the resolution for that one.
Yeah, the Tweiwi ones always are busy, but they definitely got better by the third one. Actually, no, by the fourth one. That's when you did solid lines.
Yeah. No, the fourth one definitely.
Yeah, I think.
Actually, the PlayStation showcase, that one's pretty good.
I hated that one. I was the one that made that one as well.
The first one or the second?
The first one.
Yeah, I'm like that.
It looks pretty good.
I don't know that one.
So my
it was kind of slapdash, I believe.
Yeah, so
it was slapdash, but it looks good for being slapdash.
Yeah, it was slapped together, and like, as you can tell, I was kind of experimenting like along with the Persona one of like the thumbnails you see where they'll have like 20 characters in it, and yet they all like look good. It's like I was trying to figure that out. I'm like, I can't manage 5 characters together looking nice. I don't know how people do the like large.
All right,
thumbnails.
who's the wise guy that put the Otaku Oasis thumbnail over Bowser's crotch in the Nintendo Direct February?
That was also me.
That was Eric.
That's funny. Okay, that one's pretty funny.
I never thought about that at all. I never like occurred to me that I put it over his crotch. It was supposed to be like he was like puppet mask like looming over it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like him looming over it, but that placement. Yeah, you're right.
That placement. I am right.
I do
now
kind of like the words bubble up like soda pop one.
That one turned out really well.
That one I do like. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. All right, what was your favorite episode
that one
to
turned
record?
out really good.
I have my favorite.
Sora was a really fun one.
Yeah, Sora's my favorite. Also,
Sora is definitely up there.
Now, editing Sora was not my favorite. Like, the whole process of it, realizing that I had forgotten to turn my mic on for the entire recording, that wasn't fun. But I did get to have fun editing, putting all the fun text blurbs in, and then having that nice little speech at the end, I think turned out amazing.
I have an hour-long recording somewhere of me just, like, pouring my heart for, like, the love of Smash Bros. And
why didn't you ever upload it?
Josh was like, that's too long. Just make it like 5 minutes. I was like, okay. And then I never got back around to it.
Yeah. How many projects have we started and then never got back around to? Too many.
Yeah, a lot. A lot. Just life happens sometimes.
Oh, I've been so busy this past semester. I don't think it's a secret. People know, like, we go to school. And, like,
I mean,
I'm bouncing school with, like, a 25-hour a week job, early mornings. And so I'm just like, I don't have, like, I barely have time to get homework done and then get sleep. So, it happens.
Yeah. I don't know. I had a lot of fun doing the One Piece one, but I think that's just
I'm still really not happy that we did a One Piece one. I'm gonna take that. I'm taking that frustration to my grave, Josh. I never wanted to like One Piece.
It was to celebrate the 1000th episode of the anime, though.
I know, but I never wanted to like it. I always wanted to hate One Piece forever because I never wanted to get into it.
A fun. I don't know if I would say this was a fun one. Actually, I didn't realize how popular this video was. Josie, the Tiger and the Fish. I was not expecting a whole lot from that movie, but I was surprised how good the movie was. I think it was a movie me, Josh, and
No, like when did you record it? Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Found it. What's our most
Yeah,
popular
like
video?
8 months ago. It's like,
Is it the My Hero one?
I think that's our No, I think it's our Sora video. Like by and large, at
Oh
46
yeah.
views.
Yeah, 46.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's Sora. My Hero's like at My Hero's at like half the views. I'm surprised that one My Hero video stands out for the rest of the videos in that time period. Probably because it was the only My Hero video that I actually advertised.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of like proud of like just what we've been able to get, even if it's like minuscule.
Well,
it's not a lot.
My question is, how many views was us accidentally clicking on our videos, or even purposely clicking?
I haven't accidentally clicked on a video since episode 3 of the 7 Days podcast.
Yeah, the only time anytime I click on a video, it's because I'm intending to watch it or show it to someone.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Sora was the one that I definitely shared the most.
Yeah, I liked the Sora one. I think it was really funny, everything I got to do with it, editing wise.
Oh yeah. Well, my love, like, part of it was just because like Sora, but like you guys know, I was thinking like it was no way going to be Sora.
Also, the fact that I had already knew what was happening because I had gotten it spoiled for me, and I just kind of sat there and got to enjoy you guys having fun. That was something special.
Yeah, like it was such a special. Like, I kept making jokes.
I knew Sora was in, but
I kept making jokes the entire time, like, you know, on this land shall darkness prevail and the light expire.
And I'm just sitting there, like twiddling my thumbs, like I could ruin this for him, but I'm not going to.
I've watched so many reactions, and like everyone was like, "Oh, it's Dark Souls, it's Dark Souls," and like I shot around other names as well, but like I haven't seen anyone.
Souls, really?
Yeah, because of the bonfire.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I have not seen anyone mention the fact that Mario did Strike Raid. I called Strike Raid before I saw that was Sora, and no one else called that. Like I kept making Kingdom Hearts references the entire time, and I've watched so many reactions by Kingdom Hearts YouTubers, and they don't pick up on any of them.
Nerd.
I said like Taboo as well. I think I might have even said Dark Souls.
You did say Taboo, but you also said it as a joke.
Yeah. Brawl statues? Taboo?
Yeah.
Brawl statues? Taboo? Could you imagine if they had done that?
I would have loved it. I wouldn't have been mad.
That would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
No, not like a could you imagine a bad way. It's just like, could you imagine how funny that would be?
Could you imagine if it was a Fire Emblem character?
Yeah.
Oh god, the internet would have burned down.
I would have loved it. I would have been so down
I
for
would
it.
have loved it. I would have loved it because it's so funny, and that's like Sakurai's final like screw you to everyone who's made his life probably miserable.
Yeah.
But that would have been such a funny way to go out.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was a great.
Out of the thumbnails, which one was like the least fun to make?
Least fun to make.
I think that's a question for you, Josh. You make most of them, don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but Eric makes some as well.
Least fun
I
to
never-
make. That's a good.
I know mine.
I mean, I made
I know-
the
I know-
gaming channel thumbnails for Zelda.
I at least know 2 of mine that were like
No,
really not
I know
fun.
mine definitively. I'm not a
I'm not
Otaku
a fan
Oasis
of any.
reacts to
one.
Game Awards 2021.
I don't like any
You mean
of
one where
my
you didn't even
thumbnails.
make a thumbnail for it?
Yes.
Which I keep telling you that you should have made a thumbnail for?
Why
I'm
didn't
never
you
making
make
a thumbnail
thumbnails
for
for
it.
those?
Well, so the Shin Megami Tensei 3 ones was literally just me testing streaming. It was the first time I'd ever streamed. Game Awards, I don't know why I didn't make a Game Awards one. Like, I should have. It just, like, never crossed my mind. And then after the fact,
I
we're
told
like,
you
"Oh,
to.
should." No, I don't think you did beforehand. I think you said
I told you
after.
to as well. No, I told you to after as well. I told you to.
But, least fun one to make. That's Probably.
I know for me, it's either the second Demon Slayer one or the second My Hero one. Those ones were not fun ones to do.
No, that second Demon Slayer one I can see being the worst.
Which one was that? I don't even see it.
It took, I think, a good 3 hours in order to outline the entirety of that poster.
Oh gosh.
I look. I don't think any of the ones I did were hard. It's just I'm not a fan of any of them. They could be better.
Which episode is this? I don't see what's episode number. One of the new Game Plus 7 days. The one with Eri holding like the flowers.
Yeah, what about it?
That one is probably my least favorite. I think I actually ended up having to ask you for help. But like all the other ones we just got like PNGs
Yeah, you exported the Aries thing to me.
Yeah, so all the other ones we just got from PNGs.
The Aries stuff wasn't that hard.
I struggled with it.
The Aries thing took me, I think, it took me like 10 minutes, I think.
Oh my gosh.
But I'm used to, I mean, you saw what you literally saw what I had to do like before this though, right?
Yeah.
The video literally prior, I did like probably some of my hardest editing work.
Also, I realized I made a Hamilton reference. I don't remember why I made a Hamilton reference for that episode, but
you made a Hamilton
I think
reference?
it was just...
What are you, a theater
Yeah, in the title.
Yeah, who lives, who dies, who tells their story. I don't know why I did that. I want to go back and change it.
I believe it's because I think we focused a lot on Eri, I believe. That's why.
Yeah. Cat's brand of energy.
I don't know. Out of all of them.
What were you doing in New Game Plus?
We were covering the dub and the secret reports, but I don't know what you were thinking for the names.
Joshua Ex Machina.
Were you thinking, Eric?
I was.
Were you really?
I don't know. I really loved the ending to the original 7 days. Not that the podcast is great. It definitely is not great. The thumbnail, I mean. But I loved the title.
Yeah.
Which anyone who's played the game knows, like that's how the game ends. But I thought it was really fitting. The headphones on the ground and the hopeful.
Out of the thumbnails, I'm kind of disappointed with the school festival arc for My Hero, and then the second Doctor Stone video.
Really? The second Doctor Stone episode is my favorite because I was driving and.
No, not recording it. The thumbnail.
The thumbnail, yeah. That's the only reason I'm not a huge fan of the second Doctor Stone one is the lighting doesn't match up and it's kind of weird to look at.
Hey, negative charisma.
Yeah, I could have probably found a better. I could have probably found something better for Chrome.
The first Doctor Stone one's not bad. I do like it.
What is the
Oh no, I have nothing wrong with my first Doctor Stone.
What?
We got someone chatted, "Oh, on God." Question mark. I don't remember what that was in reference to.
Could be in reference to a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Chance.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yes, Chance. On God. He went to high school with us.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. Do we want to pull up for a second, like that video with you starting, Matt, or?
I mean, we can, but I also.
Well, wait. I pulled this up. I pulled this up, and we haven't talked about it, but it's on the stream. Can we just talk about the original logo?
Oh.
Yeah, the original logo.
What is that under the palm tree?
It's supposed to be like a bench.
Like above the
It's a game controller. It's still a game controller.
No, not the game controller. Above the game controller, below the tree. Like in the middle. What is that?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a lounge chair with like a.
Oh, I see the lounge
drinks.
chair.
I don't remember. But yeah, so
yeah,
literally,
I can see it, yeah.
I think the second one is much better.
Oh yeah, it's still not great. I'm not a graphic designer.
The second one is much better, honestly.
But
no, actually, it looks really good.
Yeah, so the idea was like because it's an Oasis, we're like, what could we do? And so I kind of just like was left to my own devices. I'm like, well, what are we doing? We're talking about like anime and games. It's hard to like represent anime in a like there was a prototype design. I don't know if I still have it, where like
it's hard to
half game controller. Half,
it's hard to
like,
represent anime in a
eyes.
physical sense, and I totally agree with you that.
Yeah,
I don't like the sound of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like half
no,
like game
it's
control,
hard to
half
represent
anime
anime
eye, and it
in
was
like
bad.
a physical sense.
There was a weird prototype of that, but yeah, like the original logo was like the first palm tree and the first game controller PNG I could find, and I think I made it like 300 pixel by 300 pixels, which is not high resolution at all. But I had a really detailed high resolution palm tree, and a very very low resolution game controller. So I was like, yeah, let's revamp that. Let's make that a little bit better. The palm trees are still a little too detailed.
I mean, but... it was pretty early. I mean, it was pretty early on that we made the switch as well. I mean,
yeah, the first logo didn't make it long.
That's not bad.
Also, I don't know if people get the reference. It's supposed to be a life preserver.
Oh yeah, I can see that. I don't think I ever consciously made that, but like I see it.
Yeah, so it's supposed to be like a life preserver, like floating in the ocean.
But I believe. Yeah, I mean, me and Eric were the ones who kind of like were brainstorming about it and whatnot.
Yeah. Originally there was
I didn't
like
help
also
much
text.
into the design process, but I helped with the brainstorm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like originally it was supposed to be like text in like the red boxes. I think at one point we put like I based it off Persona 3's Gekukan High School.
Yeah, no, I know you did, but I know you did that. I thought you put like a year thing in it, but I might be wrong.
No, I think it did.
Could be cool for our next, if we ever redo it again, is doing like the title in like kanji in like the red boxes, if it would fit.
Oh,
that would be cool.
I never thought about that.
I think that could be cool.
Could definitely work.
I don't see the... Okay, so I found the thumbnail, but I can't seem to find the actual like logo itself. But, never mind. I don't even have the thumbnail. Let me open Photoshop and see if I can resave it. Because if I still have the PSD, I can still open it.
Alright, I think I need to get going so I can eat before work. It has been an amazing year working with you guys.
Yeah.
Here's to many more.
Yeah, hopefully.
Well, what's one more when we can just say here's to many more instead of just one? Are you planning on killing us off next year?
Yes, this is actually Unis Honest. We're deleting the entire channel after this.
Oh god, no, not Unis Honest Part 2.
Unis Honest Part 2. We definitely did not post every day.
I don't think we're big enough to draw on that sort of attention.
No one would care.
But
nor are we big enough to draw that sort of attention. I was just saying that because because I mean we'll be back for our second year. I have no doubt about that.
So our anniversary is on the 9th, huh? Good to know.
Yep.
Yes.
So this is the Persona logo. So yeah.
What's our gaming channel's anniversary?
I wasn't really gonna celebrate it because it wasn't a big deal.
I wasn't going to, but
like end of July.
Just
no, is that? It's June 18th.
Well, end of June? Oh, yeah, it was end of June. Can we talk about...
Is that the original? What was this?
What?
Also, technically, if we want to be specific, our channel was made on the 8th.
Yeah, well, we didn't post until the 9th.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm going based on...
I'm just like, if we want to be on it next year, but yeah.
No, I consider the first video being like the birth of the channel.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't really care too much about the day because like here's the thing, my channel was technically created like 5 years ago, but if I was gonna celebrate it, I'd be like, hey, it's been 1 year posting videos. I'm not gonna be like, hey, it's our 5-year anniversary, even though I haven't posted anything for 5 years, 4 of those years.
But yeah, I'll just let Matt take his leave at this point. So,
alright. It's been awesome working with you guys for the last year. Here's to many more. If you want to see more of my beautiful content, you could find me at twitch.tv/TyrianKing. Other than that, I hope you all have a wonderful day. See ya.
Bye-bye.
See ya, Matt.
Man, what a shameless plug. I'm joking.
It's all I put it in all the videos that he's in. I find it only fair because we're kind of collaborating.
Please go check him out, Tyrian King. Over on twitch.tv.
Yeah. No, definitely. We have been on there a few times as well. But yeah, can we speak about just the first Comicast thumbnail a little bit?
Yeah, that went through a lot of design changes. I don't know if you have any of the original stuff. I remember I made
a logo from the anime in it. I didn't have like the lines making it like look all integrated and whatnot originally.
You know, I typically don't like doing this, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna show you guys making the font that we used. I'm gonna remove that real quick because we're not really talking about that. Let me open it up on. Yeah, I'm gonna. Okay.
I'm just lucky I was able to find a good like lined paper looking background because I think it works out really well. Like considering what Komi uses.
Yeah.
Nope, that was grabbed off the internet.
Oh, nice.
You think I could make that?
I thought you did.
I made the extra lines linking up to the the logo, but that's about it. And even then, that was pretty hard. And there's a little bit of like off kilterness on like the bottom line, but it's very small and hard to tell from afar.
Okay. So the logo we made, or the
I say this, and now everyone's going to notice it, but whatever.
Yeah. So the font that we made, was not. It's not a font like a text font. It's an image. I was the one that made this. It's kind of hard to see detail in it with the PNG. So let me move it. Turn the background on. But as you can see, if I can zoom in at all, like it's got some texture to it.
Should be able to. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I try to make it like look as chalky as possible. So like there you can see like I added the outline to it just to make it. Did I move the inside? But yeah, like that's the bevel effect. If I move that, it's not much. Like what font was this anyway? I don't remember what font I used.
I don't know either.
Oh, it's called Chalkboard? No, it's called Nestork.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I bought. I didn't buy, but I found a lot of chalkboard like fonts. I didn't like any of them, but like let's see how I did the bevel. It's actually been a while, so this is going down memory lane for me. Yeah. So like I literally had to pick from a pattern, and like these are the only patterns I had were trees, grass, and water. And so I think I went with one of the water. Yeah, I went with a water background, and literally had to scale it down, and like, I had to find like the perfect amount of scaling where like it had rough texture to make it look kind of like chalk, but it wasn't like way too much. Like it was like.
I see. I always thought it was like look kind of like a bit like crumpled paper in my opinion, but I mean, I see what you're going for.
I definitely feel that too. It did kind of look like crumpled paper, but like the idea was trying to make it look as chalky as possible.
Not that that's a bad thing. Like, not that that's a bad thing. I mean, the paper aesthetic works as well in our favor as well. So I was like,
what
works to me.
So like let's
works for me.
Duplicate layer. Drag it up here. Let's just like look at the other fonts I had without any of the effects on it. Can I change the color of the background? I don't know if I can. Yeah. Let me just do this. Well, that's not it. I don't know why it is like auto doing the stroke. That I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, it's been doing that for a while. I don't know why, because I don't use that stroke. I just want a black background. There we go. Oh, gosh. Okay, stop. You will do as I have asked. Oh, gosh, why is this not working? Okay, so highlight that. Dude, this is not. Let's go through all my fonts, shall we? Things are going horribly wrong. I'm trying to remember all the fonts I got for this. Chalkboard. Like, that's what that got me. I'm like, that's too straight. Like, yeah, it's similar. Big C, like, this one has a little bit more rough around the edges.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, okay, that's not, playing it a little bit too straight. This one was pretty much the same thing. There was this one. Gosh. Yeah, but I'm like, okay, that's just way too rough in general. And like the type, like the I didn't match at all. The K didn't really match at all. So okay, the T did not match. I'm like, okay, so the letters don't really match up, and it's like way too rough and like kind of hard to read. So like, yeah, I just went through a whole bunch. I think Chalk Duster was another. Well, that one I think was Chalk Duster. Yeah, here's another one I went through where like this one was way off.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, I feel like that would like stand out a lot against like what our thumbnails are.
Yeah. So I was like, just not really happy with any of the ones that I found. So I just found a plain font, and it was like, okay, this one matches the letters right. So now, how do I give it the texture I need it to have? But
yeah,
that was a fun time.
But yeah, what do you think about just like the layout of it in general?
I think that some of our
Like I
best...
tried to kind of go for like kind of a simple design. Yeah, I tried to go for just like a very simple design with it, like, and being able to highlight just one character each episode makes it also a lot more fun.
Instead of putting the entire cast.
Yeah. Like I'd rather like focus on like a smaller manga panel like in the bottom left corner instead, just to give like a representation of like what's talked about as well.
Yeah. No, I think those some of our best because it incorporates both, like, because I don't know how you guys did it in the other anime ones. I haven't watched them, but like, we really are kind of comparing the manga to the anime. So having both of those represented, being like, we're talking about both. We're not just all on the anime.
Yeah, I definitely like chose to do it this way for like the Comicast ones because we both had a knowledge of the source material. Comparatively, the other Otaku Oasis ones, like the podcast formulas, are ones that basically half the party is more associated with knowing the anime, while I read through the manga just to compare it to my experience with the anime when I first watched it.
Okay. So it's kind of like the reverse of Twaywe, where I'm the one that has all the knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah, it's because I've watched like a whole bunch of shows that you guys haven't, that I have like so much knowledge on a lot of these shows.
Dude, that's one of the things I hated doing this channel.
Especially Matt, like, hasn't it?
You've ruined me, Josh. I hope you realize that.
I haven't ruined you. I just opened you up to a new side of media that you never experienced.
I will never forgive you. Yeah, so I've not had time really to do anything. Like, if you've noticed, I haven't played Shin Megami Tensei 5 or Gran Turismo since, was it like early March? Well, yeah, Gran Turismo came out.
Yeah, I think like sometime around there.
Yeah, like I think it was like March 7th was like the when Gran Turismo came out, and I only played it like twice for like the 2 days it came out, or the day after it came out. And like, I haven't been playing other games. Like, it wasn't like, oh yeah, I just haven't been streaming, but I'm having fun going. Like, no, I really haven't done anything. I haven't had time to play games like I used to. And like, I've listened to all the podcasts that I have and whatever. So I'm like, I just want something to listen to in the background, like while getting work done. So I'm like, I have access to Crunchyroll, and Funimation just merged with it. Check it out. Now I've gone down the rabbit hole that I did not want to go down.
Yes, I know that very well. That's how I binged a lot of anime in high school. I did that a lot.
Yeah. I am
I
still
literally
a
would
dub
just
person.
throw on an anime in the background, but I yeah, I didn't have I don't have many more just like animes that I'm like, this is like just basic enough that I'll throw it on in the background and I won't care about looking at it is my problem now.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think because I watched like what 3 or 4 shows just like in the past month or so.
Yeah, what is it? My Dress Up Darling, Kaguya-sama, what were the other
I watched
few?
a few others. I don't remember. Kaguya and My Dress Up were definitely like. I've started watching the Salaryman's Club. I've actually really been enjoying Salaryman's Club.
Uh-huh.
I rewatched Great Pretender. That one's an amazing show. We need to cover Great Pretender.
Yeah. Oh, and it's definitely planned.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't get to talk about all the things we said we were going to do and then never did.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like we need to go too in detail about it because I feel like we are definitely going to do it, but
You know what show is still on my list that I've never gone around to watching? It's To Your Eternity. The
which
dub
show?
is out.
Oh,
But yeah, like I have several shows this season on my watch list. I mean, Kaguya, Komi, but like I'm thinking about checking out Shikimori.
have you finished Gummy?
No, I watched.
Did you finish Gummy?
No, so I watched 4 episodes for us to record, and then we never got around to recording.
Well, I mean, we did record like at least half of them.
No, I watched 4 since our last recording. But like, yeah.
Oh, did you finish it?
No, I haven't finished. I'm only on like episode like 10.
Yeah, I guess we just. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know that we recorded it through 6 though, so.
Yeah, I got to like episode 10 and then stopped. But yeah, so we need to record those at some point. Also.
Yeah, no, I was
Now's the time to do it if we're gonna do it, or else I am waiting a year. What shows are we expecting to do in the future?
No, that's just.
I really want to talk about Your Lie this month.
Well, we have the Comcast. Yeah, we could definitely try for that. As for other things, obviously we're going to try and finish up Komi pretty soon, to try and catch up. And then we have Jujutsu Kaisen coming out pretty soon as well. Just need to finish recording up 2 more things for that, as you would know, Matt.
Kaguya something.
And then, what did you say?
We haven't talked about it, but Kaguya might be something I'd be willing to talk about now. Oh, Wotakoi! Wotakoi. I love Wotakoi. That one was so great. That was the other show I was trying to think of that I watched recently.
Yeah, we could do, oh, yeah. You did do Wotakoi, didn't you? Yeah, we could do Wotakoi and then, 2 on Kaguya, because season 1, season 2, that sort of thing.
What's some other ones?
Give me an excuse to go reread the Kaguya chapters for those.
We had a plan to do Great Pretender, all like a episode for each case, and then it displaced that with 12 episodes of Tokyo Mew Mew.
Yeah, we do need to kind of get on that though if we want to. Yeah.
Well, when does it come out? Like June, July? We got time.
Yeah, I definitely like if we're able to finish up the are we thinking of doing Your Lie in 1 or 2 episodes?
I'd say 2. I'd say first half, second half.
2?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like it could be technically done in 1. I'm like obviously I'd go through and just read the entire manga, but
I would, except I don't.
Just because I want to compare.
I only own like 5 volumes. No.
Yeah.
How many volumes are on?
Don't.
I don't know.
I'm thinking like 7 or 8, I think, if I remember reading correctly. This is just off of memory. I don't quite remember. Oh, no, 11 volumes. Okay. That's not too bad.
Also, I have chat box open, but for some reason it's not showing up like on the stream. I don't know why.
I mean, it did show up for a little bit because
Oh,
I
did
saw
it?
Matt's thing. But yeah. But yeah. After that, do we want to just kind of move into just kind of some of our what is it? Just like some of our favorite things in general, whether it be anime or games or whatnot.
Sure. I guess I don't know if I want to let the let out on my favorite anime.
It's obviously Kaguya-sama, right?
No. The first one that I watched, I actually watched
I'm
it
obviously
before.
joking.
Yeah. This one that I actually watched like over spring break one year before I actually met Josh. And I watched it because at the time I was like, I was the kind of a band person. And it was Your Lie in April. And so like I played violin. I played a
Yeah.
little bit of piano. I played saxophone. I played bassoon. I played quite a bit. But yeah, so like for me, like I genuinely listened to classical music before the show. I genuinely played classical music before that show. I played all kinds of music. I played jazz music as well. But seeing a show that combined music with like dealing with like grief and loss and just like letting out emotions that you've like kept bottled up, like that hit very hard. It's like I guess it's technically classified as a romance anime. And like I can
It
kind
is.
of yeah, I can kind of get it. But to me, like the romance was not the focus of it to me. Like yeah, there was romance, but like they never even go on a single date, and the ending of it is not the two of them ending up together. Without going into more spoilers than that. But yeah, it was just like my favorite episode. I don't want to go into my favorite episode stuff. We'll cover that when we get there. But I just thought it was a very impactful show.
Yeah, just keep it.
Yeah, I thought it was just very impactful, and it meant a lot to me because it like somewhat vindicated me, and my passions and whatever else.
Yeah, no, I definitely get that. Apparently, I was just looking at like the Wikipedia, and apparently the one shot that the series is based off of that the author wrote, took some inspiration from a series that I've actually watched called Beck that I actually highly recommend.
Oh. Might have to check it out then. That said, Kramer was a little disappointing. We still have to cover Kramer.
Oh, Matt says you probably don't have it set to save the chat.
Yeah, I realized
he
that.
said that you can do that later.
Well, here,
also saying that we should do a Breath of the Wild playthrough soon.
Yes, that we need.
Which we definitely should, as the second one is coming out early next year. Now that we have a date.
Yeah, well, we don't have a date, but we have spring of 2023. I actually think
that's pretty definitive, as in like around March.
I guess. I wonder. Not that I wonder. This is more of a joke, but I think that they released that episode, or not episode, that video a little bit too early, and it actually was meant to be released on April Fools.
Yeah, I don't think it was.
Yeah. Anyways.
Do you want to talk about like your favorite game, or do you want me to cover like one of my favorite animes?
Yeah, let's go back and forth.
Okay. If I had to cover one of my favorite ones, I guess I'll just kind of start it off simple. Just one of my favorite animes, definitely I'd have to say would be Gintama. It's just for if you don't know, which you probably don't know, Eric, but it's a shonen like property that kind of is both very good at parodying it and also taking those shonen tropes and turning them into probably some of the most serious and heartfelt things that I've ever seen in anime. And definitely the anime. I've read the manga for it a bit, and I'm just like it doesn't hit as well if you don't like have the voice actors for it, which is definitely why I prefer like the anime for it. And well, it is definitely a lot of episodes. It's definitely I'd say a lot of fun.
Um, yeah, that is one thing that I've noticed with anime that is different from Western media. That's really good. Is that like Western media is either super dark and serious and gritty, or it's a complete caricature that you cannot take seriously for any reason. It is just there to be made fun of. And I feel like anime does a really good job of taking these tropes and taking these like over the top characters and pushing them past the point where they become real. Does that make sense? And they do it.
Yeah, I mean, there are definitely some that definitely like keep it to caricatures, but there are definitely like ones that are like at least ones that are talked about a lot that definitely do break down those caricatures into something a bit more.
Well, even like going back to like Yuli and April, like there are definitely some tropes in Yuli and April. Like the characters themselves aren't like hardcore tropes, but they do use tropes quite a bit. But then they'll push it like one step further and like reveal like yeah they're kind of tropey, but there's something beneath the surface that is the reason why they rely on those tropes. If that makes sense.
I don't know. I feel like a better example would be Kaguya-sama, but
Yes, Kaguya-sama is better, but
I'm like,
I just talked about your lie.
yeah. I mean, do we want to talk about Kaguya-sama right now? I mean, it's definitely one of my series.
Uh, I don't know if I'd say it's one of my absolute favorites. I still probably put like Great Pretender, Border Koi above it, but yeah, we can talk about it.
I don't know, and it's maybe just because I'm reading the manga for it, and so like I'm all caught up on it. So there's more things ahead of like where you are in the anime that I won't talk about, but just at least of one thing that you have and kind of spoilers for like season two, but just the character of Ishigami, and I don't think I'm gonna get into detail about it, but just like how they kind of break down the stereotype of just like the depressed type, like kind of neat character that I've seen quite a bit.
So yeah, I don't want to get into spoilers of Ishigami either. That was a genuine surprise that I absolutely loved. Um, and if we ever do cover Kaguya, Ishigami's getting his own episode. I don't care how we cover the rest of the series. That episode by itself is getting its own Otaku Oasis episode.
Yeah, I definitely think like honestly the easiest way to break down season two is the basically the student council election arc, which is the first 6 episodes, and then the second 6 episodes, which is the sports festival arc.
Yeah, but even then, the Ishigami stuff is only like one, maybe 2 episodes.
It can be the focus of the episode. I don't care, but
Yeah.
yeah, because I do feel like a lot of the talking points around the sports festival arc is around Ishigami.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, that was an unexpected surprise, and I absolutely loved it. And again, that is a great example of like taking this tropey kind of character that you love to make fun of, and then being like, yeah, we're gonna make you hurt now.
Yeah. They kind of tried to do a similar thing with another character that they introduced in season two, but
Miko?
but regardless, yeah, no, I mean, if I had to say like why I like Kaguya-sama though, is that just not only just like for the rom-com things or like breaking down the like the characters into something more real, but I just like also their ability to turn something that's like relatively normal, like just read receipts or something like that, and blow it into something way bigger.
Yeah, no, that's pretty great. the way they like completely over the top. Well, and so I only watched the sub for season 3, episode 1.
The first episode of season 3. Yeah.
I've watched the dub for the rest of it, and I honestly like the dub more than the sub, the narrator wise. I know you disagree with me. I didn't find like maybe it's because I don't know Japanese at all, or like not used to Japanese voices. I didn't find the Japanese voice to be as serious as you made him out to be.
Well, he's more serious than Ian St. Clair's voice. Nothing against Ian St. Clair. I think he's a great great voice actor, and like, honestly, really do love a lot of his other works. Especially, he does really well as Dandy in Space Dandy. But I don't know. I just didn't feel like it was a good fit, at least in my opinion.
I loved it. I thought he does an amazing job. I know he doesn't keep it 100% serious, but like, I like the idea that the narrator is kind of in on the joke, but is still blowing it way out of proportion. He's like, wink.
Yeah,
wink
no,
nod, but
I don't know. I think it's just because I prefer the narrator to not be in on the joke. I prefer like the narrator to be its separate entity, which it very much is in the sub.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's not too over the top. Like, they're not too in your face with it. It's like, he just has like a certain smugness in his voice where it's like, kind of like the wink and the nod to like, yeah, I know. But like, he's still delivering the lines in like this way over the top, like, character manner. I liked it.
The sub or dub? I'm guessing dub, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we want to talk about games, I mean, I feel like
I don't know. I just feel like a lot of the outlandishness comes from the narrator taking it so seriously. But I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah. Fair enough. But yeah, if we want to talk about games, I feel like a lot of people have guesses as to what my number 1 game is, and I feel like they'd be wrong. Because I don't think I've said my number 1 game.
Sly Cooper, right?
Have I said... Well, I've told you, but I don't think I've told anyone like on stream or anything.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't know. There's like 3 series that I think of that you talk about the most. It's Sly Cooper, Twaywe, and then Dark Cloud 2.
Dark Cloud 2. Okay, so that's definitely top 10. I wouldn't put Dark Cloud 2 as my number 1 game, though. Dark Cloud 2 is just one that like I really want to talk about because no one knows about that game. But yeah.
Yeah, no, it's very niche. I found it because, well, not I found it, but I found like only like one video from like kind of like from people who cover more niche JRPGs like that.
Yeah. Well, like there's like Polygon did a video about it, but like the Polygon video is somewhat good and being like, dude, there's so much content in this PS2 game, but then also just like kind of misrepresenting it.
Yeah, no, I definitely go to people who are more specified in the field.
Yeah, I do think it might be one of the best action RPGs on the PS2, though. Which is saying something.
Oh, I definitely don't disagree from what I've seen.
Yeah, it's like, don't get me wrong, I love Kingdom.
It definitely sounds a lot better than Dark Cloud 1, because I watched a video on both Dark Cloud 1 and Dark Cloud 2.
So I know some people that like Dark Cloud 1 better than 2. I actually do know some people like genuinely in real life that like Dark Cloud 1 better than 2. I do not understand it.
And like I can see the appeal like from what I've watched, like just from like the few videos that I watched, but I don't know, just I think it was like something about like there was like no save mechanic or something like that in 1 that I'm just like it was like some specific like save mechanic that like wouldn't get saved if like you died or something like that, and I'm just like, yeah, no thanks. 2 sounds better.
No, so like it kicks you back to your last save. But both games do that though. So save often.
Yeah, but I think there was like something that was more. Yeah, but I think there was something more penalizing in 1 than 2 if you didn't save or something like that. I might be misremembering. It's been a while since I've watched those videos, but
yeah, it's been a while since I played 1. I suck at 1. I cannot even get past like the first boss in 1. Here are my issues in 1 summed up. too many characters that level up independently of each other, and weapon breaking is permanent. And
maybe that's what it was, the weapon breaking permanence.
Yeah, it was like, I play Fire Emblem. I am good with having, weapons break in games. I actually enjoy it in Breath of the Wild. I don't think weapon breaking is always bad. But you have to understand...
I didn't like it in Breath of the Wild, but in Fire Emblem it is pretty fun.
Yeah. You have to understand how the economy works in Dirt Cloud and how weapon breaking works in Dirt Cloud. Weapons have durability, and it only has like 40 hit points, and it expels 1 hit point for every time you use it, if not more. Like, if it's against a really strong enemy, it will expel like 3 hit points, and you only have like 40 to 50. And I believe in Dark Cloud 1, it took 2 repair powders to fully repair a weapon. But
and I'm guessing those weren't common.
the not common finds, and they were really expensive. And you also had to buy water because your characters got thirsty, and if you were thirsty, you couldn't heal. And you had to buy bread to heal. And there was multiple types of repair powder depending on the weapon.
I mean,
and also
not unmanageable, but it just sounds like a lot.
Yeah. Well, and then like the upgrading system is also way more complex than even the second game's is. But like it was complex, not in a good way. It was like,
yeah,
like there was like crystals.
It sounded like it. It sounds unnecessarily complex.
Yeah. So like you had like weapons will have slots, and you can have like two slots per weapon, I think, and you can put like crystals in there that will make it like strong against the undead or strong against a beast. And then when you level up, you could swap them out for different ones. But then when you level up, it absorbs whatever is in the slots, so you lose them, but that becomes a permanent attribute to the weapon. But like it just there was too much going on because it was
kind of interesting. Although,
and you had to find the crystals.
I'm like, it just sounds like, yeah.
And yeah, so like it was just a mess, and like the first boss was a flying enemy, so you could only attack it with the cat character. I forget her name. Because she had a slingshot. Well, the slingshot was super weak. It is very hard to find multiple slingshots, and you get her so late in the dungeon you can't level her up. Or you'd have to like grind her out, which again takes money getting repair powder, so you're like always at a net negative. And it was just a
yeah, it just definitely sounds like a lot.
Yeah. And there's like 6 characters, and they all have these independent things.
Yeah, regardless, what your thoughts on Dark Cloud 2?
Dark Cloud 2 fixes the problem. You only have 2 characters, and they have both a short range and long range. It adds so much content with like Sfida, which is like golf, fishing, which the first game had fishing as well, but I like the second one's fishing better. What else? There's, defeat the enemy time trials, which also weren't super great, but that's a different story. You could collect monster badges. The entire premise of the game is so cool, where the guy, the villain, destroyed the entire world in the present except for one town because he was looking for a stone. And the stone allows you to travel to the future. And there's a character from the future who has a stone that allows them to only travel to the past. So they, seeing the future getting destroyed, go to the past to find the guy with the stone to the future, work together to rebuild the present in order to bring back the future. And so you had to like recruit town members to move out of like the only safe town to go to these like little tiny settlements that you got to build. And seeing how the future changes in response to the people you added. It was so cool.
That was like a little fun civilization builder.
Yeah. Oh, it was so great. It was so like the first game also had civilization aspects, but it was just like, yeah, there's a town, it got destroyed, and you rebuild the town exactly how it was. Whereas here it's like, no, these towns got destroyed and they're gone for good. Like, you're not rebuilding them as they were, you are resettling them.
Mm-hmm. Which I think helps give the player feel like more meaning to it, I think.
Oh yeah, it's so cool. Uh, it's actually funny. I think I can't remember if it was a review or if it was like the tagline, but like someone said it's Sony's response to The Legend of Zelda, and I thought about it, and I'm like, they're not wrong. Like the first place you go to is Sindane, and you have to revive Jurak, which is a giant talking tree. And it's like, yeah, Jurak, the giant.
It's very Zelda-ish.
Yeah. You have your forest dungeon, then you have your wind dungeon, then you have the water and lava dungeons. The wind is technically added. Typically, like they'll save wind till after the first three, but yeah, it's so cool. They had monster badges, so like Monica could turn into different monsters, or they had like the ride pod, which was highly customizable. You could give it tank treads or roller skates, or you can make it hover. Like there was just so much.
Yeah, no, it definitely sounds like there's a lot to it.
Yeah, like it streamlined certain aspects that needed to be streamlined. Like when weapons break, they just don't deal damage, but you still have them, so you didn't lose all that progress, like making that one weapon. Weapons evolve. Weapons are almost like
kind of like how Fire
Emblem
did it in kind of like how Fire Emblem did it with Three Houses.
Did they?
To a lesser extent, of course, but
I forget how Three Houses handled the weapon triangle completely. I do not remember how Three Houses handled the weapon triangle.
The weapon triangle is practically non-existent. There are skills that kind of enforce it, but like it's not like a mechanic in the normal sense of the term. But I just more meant by weapons didn't break once you used them up. They just like you still had them, but you had to repair them and whatnot. That's yeah, what I was referring to.
I do not remember that, but I guess so. Yeah, but yeah, it's like that. But
yeah. Yeah, I don't really. I mean, at least when I was playing Fire Emblem Three Houses, I never really let them get to that point either. So I understand you not seeing it either.
Yeah. Man, that was a lot of time talking about a game that I had no intentions of talking about.
I mean, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about favorites here, right?
Yeah. No, well, it's definitely top 10. In fact, it might be number 4.
Oh, so I was close in my guess.
Yeah, it'd be 4 or 5. It's up there.
Do you want to speak about Kingdom Hearts real quickly, considering the thing is tomorrow?
Yeah, sure. General thoughts about Kingdom Hearts, or like about the event itself?
I was just thinking more general thoughts, just because like the favorites list. If we want to cover the anniversary thought, like, I mean, we could go over predictions towards the end of this little Kingdom Hearts section type thing.
Sure. You want to go first? Because I spent a whole lot of time talking about Dirt
Cloud. Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't know. My experience with Kingdom Hearts is, let's just say not the, like, how you experienced it playing it and whatnot. I, kind of was the type of person who watched the cutscenes up into, basically Dream Drop distance because I only had access to a Nintendo 3DS at that point. So I kind of like did that, and then like I kind of worked my way backwards through like some of like the DS games and whatnot, and eventually got like a PS3, and I got like the console bundles and whatnot, and so I've like kind of grown my experience, but I haven't say like I've fully completed all the older games, but regardless, I really did enjoy just like because I got into Kingdom Hearts off. If you remember the game trailers, like Complete Timeline, back when Dream Drop Distance came out and whatnot. Um,
Which
that's
one?
where I kind of got in around. Uh, you know what I'm talking about, right? The game, like, I believe the channel is called Game Trailers, and like they have like a complete timeline of Kingdom Hearts and whatnot,
Maybe,
and everything that went on.
I think I remember. I don't know.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. And so I kind of got in off of that, and then I just like kind of like watched playthroughs of games. Gosh, it's recoded a slog to watch through though.
Oh, dude, it's more of a slog to play. Don't worry.
Yeah, I didn't even touch that one when I got like the collections because I'm just like, as much as I kind of like the ideas in it, it doesn't seem like it's fun to play. Um, but yeah, so technically, like 2.8 was like my first new game, technically, if we want to go with that. But no, I don't know. So, and it's maybe just because I joined in so recent that I don't have like the stigma that a lot of people have around like the time traveling stuff and whatnot. Like, I understand the problems with it, but I don't have as much of a problem to it because it's what I got introduced to.
Well,
So,
you know my thoughts. I actually have no problems with Dream Drop Distance. I think 3 is when they jump the shark. A lot of people think Dream Drop
like,
Distance
I
is when they jump the
understand
first
that,
one.
but I don't know. Like, I understand that, but just because as you understand, I'm like still kind of a newcomer, at least when it comes to Kingdom Hearts. I'm
Actually, I
like,
didn't know your history. I
I
thought
don't
you
really
had played
feel
all the
it as
games
much.
before.
No, no, I just know knowledge of all the games because I've watched it all. Um,
Did not know that.
no, but yeah, no, it's probably why 3 doesn't burn me as much as it does like a lot of people who've been around for a long time. So
Okay.
I'm like, I'm so like, don't get me wrong, I understand the criticisms and all that, but like to me, it wasn't as big of a deal because it was like technically the first real Kingdom Hearts game I was able to play when it came out on release date. So I kind of have a bit of special memories with it.
Yeah. What should we call it? So my history's very different. We've mentioned our ages before, right?
I mean, we've mentioned college age, but that's about it.
Yeah. Uh, I grew up on Kingdom Hearts, and when I say I grew up on it, I mean I was probably 3 years old when I played Kingdom Hearts 1. Um, I might have even been younger. Like, it was one of the first games I ever played. Um, so like a lot of people playing Kingdom Hearts probably had experience with like Disney movies, and then played Kingdom Hearts because they had experience with the movies. I was actually the opposite. My first experience with a majority of Disney was from Kingdom Hearts. And
Yeah, see, I'm the opposite then, because most of my stuff like was from Disney. But even then, like that wasn't really what got me into Kingdom Hearts. I think I was fascinated by the like the art, like the box art of the 3DS, like when I saw it when I was younger, and like I think I was like in a Target or something like that. And I was like, you know, I'm very fascinated in this game, and then I like played the demo for it, and I was like, yeah, I want to kind of get this game, and then just kind of spiraled from there.
yeah, no. So I grew up, and like, I I remember I could get off Destiny Islands. It wasn't that bad. I could not find my way around Traverse Town, and I do not know why. Like, I, growing up, I'm like, man, getting through Traverse Town is not that difficult. But for whatever reason, I could not figure out how to get past it. Um, so like my brother
Don't
would.
worry, I was stuck in I wasn't as great as games. Like I didn't start getting good at games, I think, until like I was like maybe like 13 or 14 or so. Regardless, I got stuck in Traverse Town because of the whole the the flow motion thing in like the
Oh, talk
I
about Kingdom
forget what
Hearts
it is,
One.
but like that cargo area.
Yeah.
I know I'm just comparing it because I also got stuck in Traverse Town. Just Dream Drop Distance is Traverse Town. The flow motion part with the it was like the on rail section in like that warehouse type area.
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about. No, my issue with Kingdom Hearts One Traverse Town was you had to reach certain flags. So it's like as you progress to one area, you'll get like a short cutscene of like Donald and Goofy walking in from like a different port. But like you're just missing each other.
Mm-hmm.
I could not figure out how to like. I didn't know what it was called back then, but like you had to reach those certain flags in order to progress the story, and I for whatever reason just couldn't figure out what direction to go to get those events.
I see.
But yeah. So my brother would have to help me like get through Travis Town. My grandfather would have to help me get through Travis Town. But like, I was. And there's an hour-long video of me talking about Kingdom Hearts as well. I recorded at the same time I recorded the Smash Bros. Thing. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts is another one of those series that is very near and dear to me. Because like I was bullied from a very young age. And so like I would boot up the game and hang out in Destiny Islands, and I wouldn't even try to progress. Because to me it's just like, it was kind of like home, you know? It was kind of homey. You know, here I was on this island paradise getting to hang out with the friends that I didn't have in real life because I didn't make friends for a very long time, and so like and the entire concept of it was why I like the things I do now essentially, where it's like it's about friendship. Like I think I said this in the Sora thing as well, where it's like I would love it if more people were like Sora, and I wish I could be more like him in the sense of just the ability that he has to connect with people and to form relationships and friendships, and like it's always so fun like in each new game revisiting older worlds, to see like, hey, they still remember him. They still remember him and they're like happy to see him, and like that's an experience that I do not know that well. But yeah, I love Sora as a character. He's not my favorite Kingdom Hearts character, but yeah, to me, like it literally was a game, and I didn't know.
Clearly, the answer is Roxas, right?
Roxas, probably. Shion, Kairi are up there as well. I think Shion's probably my favorite, absolute favorite. But yeah.
I don't know. For me, if I had to say one, I don't know. I'm between. I'd probably say either like Axel or
No one axes Axel.
Or Aqua.
See, I don't.
Got it memorized.
I know a lot of. So I feel like Aqua is very like polarizing, where there's like one camp that absolutely loves Aqua, and one camp that absolutely hates Aqua. I am indifferent to her. I'm like, like I don't really care about her. She's not my favorite character, but I don't have like this deep-seated hatred for her that some people seem to.
Yeah, I don't really get like deep-seated like anger to. I could get indifference to. I'm like, if you just don't like vibe with the character, I mean, that's fine.
Yeah, like I was about to say, like, oh man,
but
I
outright
don't
hate,
like her.
I don't know. I'm like, I don't find anything that like there's outright hateable about a character, at least in my opinion. But
there are people that definitely hate Terra.
I mean, that I can get. I mean, I don't hate. I'm indifferent on Terra, but like I can see where you can like kind of get hate towards Terra, but
he just does everything wrong the entire time. But,
yeah. I'm like, I mean, I get it's part of his journey, but I'm like, yeah.
Like he does everything wrong to help the evil people, but he's not even aware that he's doing it. He's just an idiot.
Yeah.
I get it. I find it more funny. Like that's one of the things I just kind of laugh at. But I totally understand the hatred. That said, I did not own a PSP or a PS3, and I did not play Birth by Sleep until after I played Kingdom Hearts 3. Birth by Sleep was the last.
Technically, get it on the PS4, technically, but whatever.
Oh, I did, but it was the last.
Oh, you did.
Kingdom Hearts game that I had played. I had played every game up to 3, before 3, except for Birth by Sleep. And I know you could have gone on PS4 before then, but I literally was just like, I'm not I prefer the PS2 versions, anyways.
I understand. Yeah,
I didn't want to spend $60
I'm
on
like
it.
just also having to like, yeah, like respending on games you already have. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. It was literally like I found it for
There
like
is
10
only
to 15 bucks.
there is only Yeah, I'm like there are only 2 games in which I will do that for.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, like if I'm gonna replay Kingdom Hearts 1 or 2, I'm going to replay it on the PS2. Unless I stream it. But like I play both versions now, and I still prefer the PS2 versions over the PS4 versions. Like PS2 is my favorite console by far. But yeah. I remember the day so I played all these games on my grandparents. My grandfather owned a whole bunch of PS2 games, and that's why like I got exposed to Kingdom Hearts really early. But I remember I thought it was a one-off. I never beat Ansem. I didn't beat Ansem for the longest time. I didn't know that there was more. I thought it would have a happy ending, because what games don't have happy endings? I did not expect there to be new Kingdom Hearts games. And then my grandfather comes home with both Kingdom Hearts 2 and Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories. And I remember being like, man, the Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories box art looks so dope. And the name is so cool. I'm going to play that one. And both him and my brother were like, are you sure you want to play Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories before you play Kingdom Hearts 2? Like, you should play these games in order. And I was like, yeah, but Rechain of Memories.
I mean, that is technically the order.
Yes, but... that was what was so funny. I didn't know the order. But they were like, you should play 2
but
first.
I'm more laughing at it because I'm like, you thinking that one's the more fun game out of the 2.
Well, I was looking at the box art. I'm like, it looks cool and it sounds cooler.
Oh, I know, but we both know the reality of that game, right?
So actually, here's the thing about Chain of Memories. I hate the PS2 version. I hate anyone that follows the PS2 version. I love the Game Boy version. I bought the Game Boy version after the fact. I absolutely love the Game Boy version. I think it's great. And I just don't think the conversion from 2D to 3D was well executed. It has my favorite story
Which is fair enough.
Game.
I've never really seen the GBA version. Like the story's like for Reaching of Memories is fine. It's practically a retelling for the most part of Kingdom Hearts 1 with a few extra things. But
I hate saying it's a retelling of Kingdom Hearts 1. Like not Rechain. Recoded definitely is a retelling of Kingdom Hearts 1. But like, yes, in Rechain you go through the same worlds. Well, but here's the thing. Yes, you do technically go through the same worlds, but they have brand new plots to them. And the overarching story is not at all Kingdom Hearts 1.
Oh no, I know that. Like I know the overarching story, but I've like just the Disney worlds. Like I don't know. I was never big on like the plots of them and Reaching Memory. Like I know that they're kind of original, but like they're just not as good as like because like they're kind of one-off scenario things. So I'm just like
one-off scenarios, and the reason why they're like that, is because unlike Kingdom Hearts, you could play them in pretty much any order. And
yeah, no, and I get that. Like,
yeah. Well, and also, why I like them is that, yes, they're kind of one-off scenarios, where like not a lot happens in the world themselves. They are there to reinforce the themes of the game, and I think they do a really good job of reinforcing the themes. They can't have like real major progression in any of them, but they can. I think they did a great job of what they were trying to do. Rechain probably has.
I don't know. I saw what they were trying to do, but like nothing against it. I just like I was just okay on it. Like from what I saw, I'm like, it's okay. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Rechain's my favorite story. I loved it, but gameplay was not great. I actually never beat Rechain either. I eventually ended up beating Rechain years down the line, but like, I think that was another one I didn't beat until after 3. I had beat the GBA version before I beat 3, but did not beat the PS2 version.
Yeah, the GBA version sounds a lot better for some reason.
It's good. Like it's better. I wish they would re-release that one somehow. But what was I gonna say?
Yeah, sadly, I don't think that'll happen. But
yeah, no. What was I gonna say? Favorite story, it's great. Then I got to Kingdom Hearts 2, and this is where people are gonna crucify me. I don't think it's that great. I actually love the opening.
Which one's not that great?
Kingdom Hearts 2.
Oh, Kingdom Hearts 2?
Yeah. I can hear the hate mob now.
I haven't played too much of it to have an opinion on it.
For a lot of people, like,
I mean, the gameplay looks really fun, at least endgame, but
yeah,
like gameplay wise, I think it looks really fun, but
yeah,
I don't know. I had I had pretty fun time with 3's gameplay as well. So I mean, I don't know. Might just be my low bar.
yeah. 2, I don't have an emotional. Oh, I remember what I was gonna say with VeChain. I got stuck on the Oogie fight and could not beat the Oogie fight for whatever reason on VeChain. I don't know why. Anyways, but yeah, going back to 2. I have no real emotional connection to 2. I don't know why I don't. Except for the opening. I know a lot of people hate the tutorial opening with Roxas. I love it, and it has been a tradition since I got the game to replay it the day before school starts every year. Just the opening. Like, I would set the Sunday before school, or whatever day school started. I'd set the day before, and, like, that was the day I would replay Kingdom Hearts 2's opening. If only because the last line that Roxas has is, "Looks like my summer vacation is over."
Yeah.
But, like, anything past that, I just have no real emotional connection. Like, I beat it. It was actually, I think, the first Kingdom Hearts game that I legitimately beat. But, like, I don't know. The gameplay didn't do a whole lot for me. I know a lot of people think it has the best combat. The Disney Worlds didn't really do much for me. I don't know. It didn't do a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. I've only seen it, so I can't really comment any further on it.
Yeah. Then we got to the DS games. Recoded, I have a strong hatred, and I have very little memory of. All I remember is that the Hercules, like, turn-based world sucked. That's all I can remember.
I really like that world, actually, but I don't know. Maybe it's just because I really kind of like turn-based RPGs, which actually, like, one of my series that I have in my favorites is one of those. But
oh yeah, well, one of my favorites is
you could probably
guess
guess which one.
Tails. I don't know which one though.
No, Tails isn't turn-based.
Oh right, it's combo-based. Yeah. Okay. I would like it a lot more if it was
I thought you'd know because I got really hyped over it being revealed at the Game Awards a few years back, but regardless.
I'm curious.
But yeah, no, yeah, I mean, I don't know. From what I played of Coded, I think it plays fine, but yeah, it's kind of boring story-wise.
Oh, it's like, so I had a friend that asked me about, I could only email this friend, by the way. So I was emailing this friend, and he was like, dude.
Yeah, yeah, it's that long list of things, and you skip Coded because we both agreed there's not much story relevance from Coded.
So, yeah, so my friend asked me about Kingdom Hearts, and I'm like, dude, you don't want to know about Kingdom Hearts. He's like, yeah, dude, tell me about Kingdom Hearts. I want to know more about it. And so I wrote, what was it, like 10, 15 pages of, like, summarizing the entire series game by game, and Coded, I think, got one sentence saying, like, nothing happened.
Well, nothing of importance other than, like, the letter thing at the end, but I think you mentioned that in, like, the Kingdom Hearts 2 portion.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like, I wrote a 15-page thing, and I did not talk about Recoded, because I'm just like, there's no point. There was zero reason to bring this game back up.
Yeah. 358/2, though. I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, so 358/2, for the longest time, was my favorite Kingdom Hearts game. And so
that one is actually one that I have completed, so.
Yes. Completed or beat?
just completed as in the sense I beat the story.
Okay. I was like, dude, I never even unlocked Sora in that game, but that would have been dope.
Oh no, not 100% complete. No. Just complete the story.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know anyone that has gotten Sora in that game, but if you got Sora in that game, that is freaking dope, and I want to see it. Recoded. Oh, not recoded.
Yeah, I'm just like, yeah, no. I was mostly just playing it for the story.
Yeah, 358 Days Over 2 was another one I actually got stuck on, and I remember buying the strategy guide, and I think I still have the strategy guide somewhere. It was a big old book.
Yeah, I got a little stuck like towards the middle, I believe, as well, but I was able to.
I got past it. I got past it and beat it. It has my favorite characters in the entire series, Roxas and Shion. I said Rechain is my favorite story. As like a structure of a story, I think it's my favorite. Best plot, best pacing, best. But like the impact, and this is like a thing you'll often find with me, is like the impact it had on me. 358 I think had the biggest impact of any of the Kingdom Hearts game. Or no, not biggest impact, because we haven't gotten to Dream Drop. But it just, at the time, it was really impactful. And I know a lot of people are like,
yeah, no, the tragedy of Roxas is really, it's really a sad story, but it's really good.
Yeah, well, I know a lot of people are like,
it's kind of also, I think, why I think that's also kind of the reason why I like Birth by Sleep, is just like because kind of the tragedy aspect of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, 358, my favorite character in the entire series is Shion, like hands down. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, the people that like Shion, they only like her because of her death, like nothing else. It's like, no, the story of a puppet that has no identity and no purpose or worth in the world. I'm like, that is what impacted me, is so much, and like why I love her so much. Where I'm just like, feeling like you're being used, that you have no greater purpose. Like, I think everyone kind of has a time in their life where they struggle with like, what is the meaning of anything? Why is what I'm doing has any meaning? And to find out that like everything is a lie. Like your existence is a lie. Like, and how do you cope with that? And how do you deal with that? And Shion's answer of just being like, you know, I don't care if I'm forgotten. I don't care if, you know, no one will remember the things I did. I am going to at least try to do some good. And, you know, that good is ultimately sacrificing herself, but she leads Roxas down the path of, hey, Kingdom Hearts, don't let the organization get it. They're not going to use it for what you think they're going to use it on. And even though he forgets her, he doesn't forget that promise. He remembers, like, he cannot allow the organization to get it. And you're right, the tragedy of Roxas, where, like, he's going to go and finish off the organization because that was the last promise he made, only to be stopped by Riku. Like, I find it amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that they would remake the game, and actually make it playable. Because,
yeah, that's what I was kind of hoping as well, but that's why I got the DS version instead, so I could experience it.
Yeah, because that's my thing. Is like,
so I'm like, it was like one of those ones where I'm like, just watching it feels like it doesn't do it justice.
No, watching it does not do it justice, because there's so much more than just what those cutscenes show, and there are more cutscenes that they added that were
no, for sure,
originally text, but like, there's just so much they can't do. Like they summarize big swaths of the game in like a text screen between cutscenes, and it's like the whole point of the game is you're doing this like 9 to 5 job, and you're living for the moments when you get to just hang out with your friend. And again, that was the big thing. I was still bullied at this point. I still didn't have a whole lot of friends. So that idea of like, yeah, you're going to work, you're going to school, you're going to whatever, and you're just putting up with it, and you're dealing with all the crap So you can get those little moments of joy and pleasure, like hanging out with your friends. Like that to me was what's like spoke so much to how great the game is. And like you don't get that in the cutscenes because you can't.
Yeah.
And I think the mission structure gets a little too much flack. Because people are like, oh, it's boring, or like, oh, like some of the missions just suck. And it's like, that's the point. That is gameplay being story. It's not always super fun. Sometimes you would have to do monotonous stuff. But the whole point is you're doing that to get to enjoy the moments later on. And wanting those moments to always stay, and knowing that they can't. But yeah, so 358's great. Didn't have any experience with Birth by Sleep. I don't think I'm forgetting any leading up to Dream Drop. I think that was it.
Nope. Nope, that's it, going into Dream Drop. Do you want to talk about 0.2 real quick, just because that's kind of linked to Birth by Sleep, or...
Sure. I guess we didn't talk about Birth by Sleep. Like I said, I had a later experience with it. I didn't think too much of it. Terra, I find funny.
Yeah, and I kind of already... I kind of already mentioned it. I just kind of like the tragedy of it, just especially like with Ventus and Aqua Terra's. I'm like, okay, I see what you're going for, but I'm like, on. But Ventus is just kind of having to come to peace with both halves of himself, and then Aqua just losing all her friends, basically.
Yeah, I think 0.2 does a good job fleshing out the tragedy to make it more impactful. That said, I find the tragedy of 358 more impactful than the tragedy of Birth by Sleep by itself.
Oh, I definitely won't argue with that, but I definitely felt for Aqua, at least, like, when she was, like, losing all that and whatnot.
Yeah. See, I never had friends to lose in the first place.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Didn't have many, but... kind of did lose contact with one for a few years.
More than one, but yeah. My case, at least. But yeah, so 0.2, if we want to talk about that one, fleshes out the tragedy of Birth by Sleep.
I mean, yeah, I mean...
It's short.
That also just connects up to, like, basically... Yeah, it's short. It's very much... A tech demo for 3, and B, just basically gives Aqua's story up to where she is in 3.
Yeah. Well, it was apparently supposed to be the tutorial for 3.
Yeah.
One thing
at least about the original idea, but
yeah. One thing that I wish they had taken from 0.2 and put into 3 was the achievements tied to costumes. I thought that was really cool, and I understand why they did it. It was a short game, so it adds some like replayability to it.
Replayability, yeah.
But I don't know.
I do think like some customizability, like in the main games, would be kind of fun as well. I do agree with your point.
Well, in Kingdom Hearts 2, there wasn't a whole lot of customizability, but you could get crowns to decorate Sora with, based off like achievements in the game. But like it was literally just like you upgrade the crown, and like I don't think you could take it off. But yeah, like having something.
Yeah, it's not like the It's not like the whole, and it wasn't like as detailed as like, and I mean it wasn't really that detailed either. But the mobile game had like a whole costume system as well.
They had Neku costumes. Hey, by the way, I kind of got to run real quick. If you want to like talk for like 2 minutes, that'd be great.
Okay, yeah, no, I'll just go over one of my shorter, like, just favorite things, just to kind of interrupt. Yeah, no, I guess just real quickly, I'll talk about one of my favorite mangas being Real Life. Just really like the story and both the idea of just if you were given the chance to do something over, would you do it, and how would you improve from it and whatnot? And then not only just that, but how can you help those around you with the knowledge that you have? It's a nice little story, and the nice thing about the manga is that it's all in color, so I definitely do kind of appreciate it, and just definitely something that I definitely need to check it, or not check out, but reread, because I haven't read it in a few years. But man, it was a good story when I read it. Especially when I was reading it week to week. As for another, I could probably just use this quick moment to plug One Piece, because the world building in that show is amazing, and I love every single second of it, especially with how much foreshadowing there is from prior stuff to later events. But yeah, no, it's definitely a lot.
Okay, I'm back. Relight.
Okay, I just ran through two of my favorite manga. Yeah. I ran through two of my favorite series really quick.
Yeah, Relight. That actually sounds interesting. So I don't know if you've never taken the chance to listen to the Nightmare Before Christmas soundtrack. The soundtrack has an epilogue that's not in the movie. And for those of you who don't know, Nightmare Before Christmas might be one of my favorite movies. I love Nightmare Before Christmas. But it has an epilogue.
Yeah, no, it's a really good movie. I do like it as well.
Yeah, it has an epilogue, and in it, Santa visits Jack, and he's got 3 children playing whatever. And Santa just asks, "Knowing what you know now, knowing what you knew then, would you do it all over again?" And Jack looks up and says, "Wouldn't you?" And that's how it ends, the epilogue.
Interesting. But yeah, no, Real Life is really good. I definitely do recommend it.
Yeah,
I do definitely recommend it. Just check out the manga though. The anime kind of speeds through a lot of the stuff and doesn't give you enough time to kind of sit on stuff. The manga is in color though. I'll say that. So it's an easy read, for the eyes.
Yeah, but I definitely had that thought before of if I could redo stuff, if I could go back to high school, first day of freshman year, and change it, what would I do differently? Well, and a lot of people like to say what advice would you give yourself? And I always try to go deeper of not just what advice, what would I literally do differently? What would I go back and change if I had the power to?
Yeah, it's not really so much of time rewind. I'll just say that it's more of it's a weird thing that's only in the series, and it's the only kind of fantastical aspect about it. But I definitely do recommend it. It's such a really good story.
Okay, so not time rewind.
Honestly, if I had to say yeah, but I'd say more about it, but I don't know how YouTube does with one of the words that's required in it. Regardless, no, if I had to say it, it's probably no, not in that sense. It's more of just stuff that could sound kind of more on the sketchy side of things. Regardless, yeah, no, if I had to say, it's probably my favorite manga of all time.
Let's check it out. But yeah, let's get back to the Kingdom Hearts stuff.
I like it even more than I love don't get me wrong, I love Kaguya-sama and I love One Piece. Those are great mangas. They are probably right up there, but Real Life I just really like the story from.
Yeah. Kingdom Hearts. Let's talk about that some more. Dream Drop Distance.
So, yeah, I don't want to spend too much longer on it, but we're nearly finished, and then we'll get into just quick predictions for the event tomorrow.
Yeah. So Dream Drop Distance, this game, the game itself, I have so many emotions tied up in this game, and it has nothing really to do with the game itself, but where I was at this point in my life. Because this game had just come out the week that my my grandmother died, passed away, and I was super close to my grandparents. Like I said, they were the ones that my grandfather was the one that got me into gaming, and he had passed away the year prior, not even a year prior. like 6 months. And so I had just lost like both my grandparents, and I had pre-ordered this game and I got it, and I just played through it because like I had like nothing else to do. Like I had this like emptiness, this void. Like they were pretty much the only friends that I had, and now they were both gone, and so I was like, how do I deal with that? And it's the game that introduced Twaywe to me, so very grateful for that. I think Twaywe had a huge impact because I introduced Twaywe, and I went out and bought Twaywe like immediately after. But yeah, like I don't have, like I'm trying to think of what I could say about the game itself. The gameplay is fine. It's fun. I introduced Twaywe, which I'm super grateful for. I don't think the story's that bad. It's not necessarily my favorite story though. It's a decent story. But yeah, it was just the time that I played it, like it was something that I kind of needed as just like something to get my mind off of everything. Cause like, my family was very busy after that. There was a lot of stuff that they had to take care of, and so like, and I have siblings, and so like I kind of like didn't get a whole lot of attention in that. I don't mean like attention like I was like an attention seeker, like I needed it, but like like I just kind of was left alone. Like I didn't have no one had time to help me because everyone else was dealing with their own stuff. And so like it's hard to be playing Dream Drop Distance, but also it's like kind of nice because it's just like it's grieving, it's relief to me. So I'd probably say it's my favorite Kingdom Hearts game for no reason of its own.
Fair enough.
There really is no reason why it's my favorite Kingdom Hearts game. But
yeah, I don't know. It was like my first game. I haven't even like really fully finished it, but from what I played, yeah, I mean, I agree. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, like there's nothing in it that is so spectacular that it's my favorite Kingdom Hearts game. It just like each Kingdom Hearts game really is like a chapter of my life, and like that was the hardest chapter of my life by far, and having that there and just being like I get to hang out with Sora and Riku some more, and I get to forget about everything else I'm dealing with. And it's definitely...
I don't know. I definitely did like the Tron Legacy world, though. That one was... I don't know. I think I was mostly just... Because I actually really liked Tron Legacy, the movie.
Oh, yeah. No, I do, too. I love Tron. I know a lot of people don't like Tron, or like don't know a whole lot about Tron, but I've seen both the movies. I love them both. I think the first one's better, though.
I haven't seen the original. Like from what I've heard, like it doesn't sound bad. I don't know. I was introduced to Legacy and whatnot.
Yeah, no, I've seen both. If I want to briefly touch on my favorite movies, just very briefly, I'm not going to go into detail. The Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy and Mission Impossible. Like, I love those two franchises.
I don't know. I don't know what I'd say for favorite movies. I have like a favorite movie, but like not animated. But yeah, no.
Yeah, like if you can't. But yeah, like I know like Pirates of the Caribbean and Mission Impossible are two very different movies, but like they kind of both deal with rogues and scoundrels in different ways.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you couldn't tell, with like Great Pretender being one of my favorite anime. I love those kinds of stories.
Yeah. Regardless, do you want to get to 3? real quick as well. I think we kind of already mentioned like kind of our thoughts towards the beginning, but of this Kingdom Hearts portion.
Yeah, so 3 is gameplay is super fun. I actually really enjoy the gameplay. That said, I hate the story. And so that friend that I wrote the like 15-page summary of the entire series, I then wrote a 30-page like synopsis of just 3. So I know the story pretty well. The story was super disappointing to me. It like nothing happens until after you beat all the Disney worlds, and then everything happens, and the ending is so unsatisfying. And it's like, I know you want to set up for the future of Kingdom Hearts. This was not the way to do it. Like, we've waited 20 years, and this was supposed to be the ending to everything that we've been wanting, and to just have that like taken away because you want to build to the future of Kingdom Hearts, like, no, don't take away the ending that everyone wanted.
I mean, I don't think your ending was taken away. It's just that they were trying to do too much by putting in too much for the next saga.
Yeah. I did not play the mobile game. I don't care about the mobile game. They shoehorned way too much of that in, and then it's like, yeah, you're supposed to care about these fortune tellers or whatever they were. And also, this video game character from the Toy Story world, he's totally an important character now. And, oh yeah, so, spoilers by the way, Sora freaking dies at the end. And it's like, come on.
Dies in quote unquote, because it's an E10 game. But
he gets Thanos snapped. It's like, what the heck?
Yeah, but that's not dead because it's an like an E10 plus game.
Yeah. I hated it. I hated the whole thing. I thought the entire ending, like, sequence was just dumb. Like, Xehanort, trying to redeem Xehanort in the last cutscene, it's like, no. I don't care if you try to redeem him. He's not a redeemable character. But, you know, it's okay because, you know, he was voiced by Drake Bell, so we can forgive him. Except I guess Drake Bell's not a great person.
So. Wait, what? Yeah. Also, when did that happen? Is that just a joke, or
the younger young Xehanort is voiced by Drake Bell, I believe, or maybe it was younger Ericus. I can't remember. But you know, like the ones playing chess.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's Ben Diskin.
That's Ben Diskin?
Guy who voiced Dimitri. Yeah.
Wait, Dimitri from, like, Sly?
No, Dimitri from Fire Emblem.
Okay, I was gonna say.
I'm pretty sure.
Drake Bell then must have voiced Ericus.
Oh no. Lorenz and Casper. That's who it was. There's another. I think Dimitri's voice actor also has the first name of Ben. Kind of confusing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was young Ericus voiced. Drake Bell voiced young Ericus. That's what it was.
Oh. No, well, young Ericus isn't around that often, anyways.
Yeah, I know. Either way, I'm just like, don't.
And anyways, Ericus will always be remembered as being voiced by Mark Hamill.
Yeah. Also, I feel really. Xehanort will always be Leonard Nimoy. I know Leonard Nimoy passed away, so obviously they couldn't get him back. I wasn't huge on the new voice actor.
Yeah, no, it was.
But also,
yeah, no, it was kind of unfortunate what they had to do for the English voice actor twice for Xehanort.
Yeah, because then before the Remind DLC came out, the replacement, I forget who it was, for Leonard Nimoy passed away, which is sad. And then they got Christopher Lloyd, who I love him. He will forever be Doc Brown. I can't unhear Doc Brown. I don't know how I feel about him being Xehanort, but I'm like, yeah. Do you want to talk about the Remind DLC as well? Like, I didn't really lump in the Remind DLC.
I don't know. It's more of just the same, just kind of reframing some final moments is all.
Yeah, so
Adds like a little extra on, and that's the hint about the Azora stuff, but that's about it.
Yeah, I do not like prequels. I think we've established I don't like prequels. I know this technically isn't prequel, but it's just like exploring the events that we already saw, and I'm like, I do not care about that. I don't want to see how, like, what Sora did that caused him to be Thanos snapped. I want to see what happens after the Thanos snapping. And, like, we get, like, the Final Fantasy characters just kind of shoehorned in for no real reason other than to be like, hey, see? They're still here. The 13 boss fights were cool. They were really hard. Yozora is super difficult, but, like, I just got nothing out of it that I wanted.
Oh dang! I did not know that.
That said, I really hope Shibuya.
Sorry, I looked up the Xehanort voice actor in like Japanese and whatnot. Apparently, that one also got replaced in 3. Funnily enough, though, it was actually by the son of the original voice actor for Xehanort.
That's not bad.
But I like looking at it, I found out that the guy who voiced Xehanort also voiced Gold Roger from One Piece.
Nice. What was I saying? I just hope that in Shibuya we get the return of the Toei characters, and as much as like the Neo cast doesn't really do a whole lot for me, it would be cool seeing Neku and everyone aged up 3 years. And they could do something cool with like, because I don't believe Sora ever met Beat. Riku only ever met Beat. Sora met Shiki, Neku, and Rhyme. Riku met Beat, Shiki, and Rhyme. So it'd be really cool if like,
yeah,
you know, he meets up with the Rindo group, and they're looking for Neku. You track spoilers for Neo: The Woodlands Review, by the way. You like Sora meets the Rindo group, starts following them around. They're looking for Neku, and he's like, "Wait, I know Neku. I promised I'd meet him here." They go and they find Neku, and it turns out, hey, that's not Neku. That's Beat, who Sora never actually met. And Beat like fills Sora in on what's happened the past few years, and Sora is the one that like summons Neku back to Shibuya.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that could be fun.
Yeah, like that could be a really cool way to have
also,
them
I
aged
just
up
think
and...
I feel like Beat, Fred, and Sora would get along way too well.
I don't know if Beat and Sora would get along super well. And they're both
sure?
They're both lovable idiots.
You sure about that?
They're both lovable idiots, but like Sora's not as rough around the edges as Beat is.
Eric, if Sora said he was a friend of Neku, Beat would trust him immediately.
You know what? You're right. You're right.
I'm like, not that difficult, really. You just say that you're a friend of Neku. That pretty much just settles it as well.
Yeah. Beat like, well, no, because Beat was already like, not friends with Rindo's group, but like protected Rindo's group. So like,
well, I mean, you did kind of see him as friends, though.
Yeah.
I think he's a person who befriends people quite easily.
Yeah.
Like, as long as you're nice to him, you know?
Yeah, I can see that. Either way.
And aren't trying to, like, mislead him or something like that.
Yeah. Well, B in Neo is very interesting because he's not the same character, but he's also very much the same character.
I mean, he's a little bit more grown up.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
From what I can tell.
Yes, that is very much the case. Like, yeah, he's still B. He's still the lovable idiot, but he's not as hot-headed as he used to be.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. I don't know. I guess I can see it.
While we're at it, do you want to talk about Tweiwi, or do you want to get into the predictions and then go into Tweiwi real quick?
Well, we still have one more game to talk about. We got Melody of Memories.
I'm sorry, what game?
Melody of Memories.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you over spin-off.
No, there's new content. There is new content. It is all of 15 minutes.
Yeah, barely anything. It's literally just Kairi telling Riku how to connect to Sora, basically just to set up Kingdom Hearts 4.
So Kairi also.
It's a little bonus thing that's tacked on onto a spin-off of a game.
I know a lot of people.
Don't get me wrong, it's pretty fun, but I do think just some of the fan-made maps I've seen are a lot more fun. Look a lot more fun, even though they look a lot more challenging.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty decent.
You remember that Breaking Free video? The Breaking Free video, though.
Yeah. We're breaking free, soaring, flying. Oh wait, no, you meant the.
No, I mean the Neo.
Yeah.
The Neo track.
I was joking. No, whatchamacallit though. I didn't think it was a bad rhythm game at all. I enjoyed the rhythm game aspect. The song selection was dumb. Like the fact that they made a jazz rendition of Dearly Beloved, and then didn't make a single version of Dearly Beloved a playable map is dumb.
Yeah, I really feel like they could have put the money in to get the rights to use those songs.
Which ones? Dearly Beloved they own.
I just mean by the... I assume, because I believe there's a singer related to it, right?
Dearly Beloved? No.
No?
No.
I don't know. There has to be something that keeps it that kept it from being in the game.
I think they were just dumb.
Like something legally.
No, I don't think there was. I think it was literally just they didn't. Because that's the Dearly Beloved was the bonus if you owned the game in Smash Bros.
Well, it wasn't the original one, though. It was the jazz orchestration.
Yes, why wasn't the jazz orchestration a playable map in the game where the jazz orchestration is in? And there is no singer to Dearly Beloved. It is just a piano piece. There was no vocal track.
I thought you said the jazz piece was in the game, and the original wasn't.
No, there was no version of Dearly Beloved playable. Not even the jazz version.
Oh, even in the... That's so weird.
Yeah, like there just wasn't Dearly Beloved. Like, how is Dearly Beloved not a playable map? How is that possible? There's other songs that were missing too, but Dearly Beloved to me is the most egregious. Cause I'm like, you made the jazz version for this game, and you couldn't even add the jazz version as a playable map.
Yeah. I think missing the vocal tracks is a big miss as well, because a lot of people like those.
Well, they had vocals for the Utada Hikaru songs. But yeah, then again,
did they have those in there? I don't know.
Simple and Clean and Sanctuary. I'd have to double check. I don't think they had Face My Fears or Don't Think Twice.
Oh well, if they at least had Sanctuary, I'm happy then.
Simple and Clean is still my favorite. I love Simple and Clean.
I prefer Sanctuary.
Yeah. Don't Think Twice was not a bad song. I did not think it fit the opening, and I'm glad they made Face My Fears.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't hate Kingdom Hearts 3's songs, but I don't really love them either.
Yeah, that's kind of my
They're mid.
on them. Yeah, I think Sanctuary and Simple and Clean are both better than anything that 3 had. Don't Think Twice is a good song. I think it's better than Face My Fears. I don't think it made for a good opening. I'm glad they wouldn't have Face My Fears as the opening.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was the ending song instead, which I think it fits an ending a lot better.
Yes, I 100%. Like, I think they made a very smart choice in getting a new song for the opening and still using Nothing Twice as ending.
Well, I don't think it was a new song. We were just misled to believe that it was the opening song.
That might be the case too. I don't remember.
I'm like, they never stated it was the opening song. We just assumed it was the opening song. I remember the speculation around it. I was around for all the Kingdom Hearts 3 speculation.
I was too. I just don't remember it that well. But yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, I just remember that everyone's reaction was like, this doesn't seem to fit for an opening, which we just all assumed that it was because we didn't expect it to get two Hikaru Utada songs.
Yeah, with Skrillex. But
yeah.
The story again, like, it 3 made my eyes roll, like, Melody Memories, Unreality. I'm just like, I want to puke. Like, I hate the idea of, like, we have the realms of light and dark and in between and dreams and memories and code, but he can't be in any of those, so he must be in unreality. It's like, what the heck are you talking about? So, we're heading into the world of fiction, and how Winnie the Pooh is not the world of fiction, I don't know, but sure, heck it, let's go. Like, this is done. And Kairi being sidelined in her own game twice. They made a PS2 version of both Kairi and Sora in the Kingdom Hearts 3 outfits, and don't have Kairi fight, but have Kingdom Hearts 3 Sora fight with a PS2 model.
I don't know.
Then, like, oh yeah,
I'm waiting just to see. I'm waiting just to see how the next saga starts before passing judgment. But anyways.
Well, then, like, Riku being like,
do we think Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to be revealed tomorrow? Yeah, I know.
Yeah, like Kairi being like, I want to help, but I know I can't help. It's like, Kairi, yes you can. Just freaking do it. Screw Yen Sid. Makes me so mad. Makes me so mad. Kairi needs her own game where she actually gets to do something.
Well, she still can potentially in 4, but we'll see. Regardless, do you think we'll see an announcement for it tomorrow, or
Kingdom Hearts 4? Do we think we're gonna get 4 before we get another, like, I don't want to say spin-off, but another side game, or? Because numbered games are, like, almost
I don't know. I
specifically saved for Sora, and I don't think we're gonna play a Sora right away.
Well, I think it's not impossible to play as Sora right away. It's not like he doesn't exist. He's just disconnected from everyone else.
What is the canon ending of Remind?
That he disappears and ends up in unreality, basically?
Well, yes, but there's 2 endings to Remind. If you lose or if you beat your Zora, there's 2 different endings. One in which he gets turned into a crystal, and the other when he's left in the final world.
I don't know. I imagine him being like an unreality and like that like based off of 3's original secret ending. I imagine that's more canon than the Yozora fight. The Yozora fight I more imagine of like a dream match type thing or something.
Well,
so
secret movies are always in Kingdom Hearts. They're always kind of more like symbolic than anything.
No, they're pretty indicative of what happens. The Birth by Sleep and 358 over 2 days are cutscenes that actually happen.
That's true. No, you're right. You're right.
Like, those secret ending movies are usually kind of indicative of things that are going to happen. They're hints, at least.
Yeah. You know, going back to how they could work the Neo Twilight stuff in, we see Riku in Shinjuku, where all the Reapers came from, and that was supposedly destroyed. But, like, Neku kind of explains how Shinjuku was, and he's like, yeah, physically it was, but like, meant like, the thoughts were still there, like the souls were still there.
Like spiritually, it wasn't.
Yeah. So it would be interesting to see,
Which,
like,
I don't know. The spirit thing in Neo, I always felt was always a little bit weird, like with Shinjuku and whatnot. But
oh yeah, 100%. It did not fit the original um, secret reports at all.
it's not even brought up that much either. I'm like, if there was maybe a bit more of an explanation for it, I'd probably be fine with it. But
yeah. But it would be interesting to see like Riku trying to break out of Shinjuku and like failing.
I think that would be like maybe a good way to make it have him like something to overcome before he can reconnect with Sora or something.
Yeah, he could actually be with Neku because he never met Neku, and so Sora summoning Neku back to Shibuya brings Riku along with him, and then we get like another tag team.
Yeah,
game.
that could be an interesting take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting my hopes up because I know it will never happen, but I really want Twilight to return because the last thing that Sora said was, "I
don't
I'll
think
see
it's
you
impossible
in Shibuya."
for it to return, but
Yeah. Sora
I don't think
said,
it's impossible for it to return. Unlikely, I can maybe see that, but impossible, I don't think it's impossible.
Well, what would the Neku crew, what would the Twilight crew be doing in Unreality after being in Travis Town? Joshua brought them
I don't
over,
know.
I
I mean, they
guess?
could say that. Yeah, I don't know. It's either that or Joshua was the one that brought him into the sleeping like Traverse Town in the first place.
I mean, we kind of already get that. Like, he kind of just says, like, yeah, their world fell, and I picked up the pieces to try and save them. And so like, I brought the pieces
Yeah, I don't know.
here.
I don't know how I don't know how they'll tackle it, but I definitely do think that they'll probably come back.
I want them to. I don't know. That could be a way.
Or at least I want them to. But yeah.
Sora promises Neku, see you in Shibuya.
Yeah, and usually I think they try and fulfill Sora's promises.
Yeah. I love how Ario goes from having the worst world in both Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 to being the best summon in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah. No, I found that pretty funny as well. I'm like, oh, so the best summon in the game is the one from the worst worlds in the previous two.
Yeah, I actually like the idea of D-Link. Not D-Links. No. Link Charms? What were they called in 3?
3?
Yeah, they weren't called
Oh,
summons.
I
They were
don't
like links.
know. Yeah, I forget what they were called.
Yeah,
D-Link was Birth by Sleep, which gave you like pretty cool like different move sets, but yeah, I don't remember what threes were called.
Yeah. I love the idea that like all of the summons were based off Sora's connections to characters. And like that is such a cool way to bring back characters without having to like fully visit their worlds. But I wish they went like one step further, like showing like, yeah, these aren't just like summons that you do in battle. These are actually like the people that Sora met, like helping him out.
Yeah, it's just a bit hard to do that.
Yeah.
Like I get that, but I also think it's like a bit hard to execute upon.
Yeah. But I don't know if we're gonna get 4. We're gonna get something. Like this is a huge event that they're pulling in Shibuya. I don't see us not getting a new game. I don't know if I want to say that game is going to be 4.
Yeah.
Because like, typically for numbered games,
I don't know. It's either 4 or a side game leading into 4.
Yeah. Because here's the thing.
Because I'm of the mind of thought that 4 might be the next one just because it starts off the next saga instead of having like a side game leading into it and whatnot.
That's true.
But that's just me.
Well, and maybe this doesn't have to be the case, but most of the time, majority of the time, well, I should say majority. From what, not that they couldn't change this, but from what we know, from what they've established, numbered games, you know, you might start off as a different character, but you will quickly become Sora, and you play it as Sora with normal mechanics. Like, you're not going to have the command deck. You're going to have... And so I was like, you can't do any special mechanics. You can't have the swap character kind of thing. Like, you're playing as Sora throughout the game.
I mean, who knows? They could change it up, considering that we're going into a new saga, though.
Yeah, so, like, could they change it? Yeah. Like,
and with the ever-growing cast as well.
Yeah, like, it's not established... Well, actually, let's assume... my voice cracks. Let's assume that we're, like, the Neo thing is correct. Riku's in Shinjuku with Neku, and Sora's hanging out with the rest of the gang. It could start out Riku in Shinjuku as the tutorial, and like that's where he finds Neku, and they're like trying to figure out a way to get out, and then like they see a door open with like a bright light, and then it just cuts and goes to Sora, like waking up in Shibuya, and then like finding the Rindo group, and then like finding Beat, and then eventually figuring out how to summon Neku, and then he like uses his Keyblade to open up a door, and then we see Riku and Neku step through, and that's how like it connects the two stories, and then we just play Sora from then on.
Yeah, maybe. I just also am curious on how Yozora is gonna fit into all of this. I don't think he's an antagonist.
I don't think he's... I don't know what he is. I don't think he's an antagonist. Also, I don't think he belongs in Shibuya. Well, maybe he does. I don't know. I mean, they definitely just remade the Final Fantasy 13 Versus trailer.
What? Really? No, they would never. Nomura would never be trying to push that idea into Kingdom Hearts. No, what are you, crazy? Nah.
I don't even know what his obsession is with Final Fantasy 13 Versus, considering didn't it just become 15?
Not exactly. The base idea of it was changed quite a bit from what it was intended to be.
What was the original idea?
It's a long story. I'd recommend just look up a video on the past of Final Fantasy 15, because it's overly complicated in explaining.
Is it? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand what the deal is with that, but whatever. But yeah, it's hard because I'm just like, I just don't see us playing immediately as Sora, and like, even if we do, I don't see us not playing as Riku throughout a large portion of the game, like Dream Drop mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe they could pull like a Recoded and have two stories. Well, not Recoded, Rechain of Memories and have two stories. That's a possibility. But I don't know. We're getting a new Kingdom Hearts game. Like, I also...
Yeah, no, that's for sure.
Disney Plus keeps dropping Kingdom Hearts references in all of the shows. And, like, we're getting a Kingdom Hearts anime. I think without a doubt we're getting a Kingdom
Hearts.
I hope. I forget what the second show was. So Mickey Mouse had, like, Minnie was doing, like, spring cleaning, and she had a box of stuff. And, like, you see, like, the, like, Sorcerer's Apprentice hat poking out, and you see, like, a couple of other... And then you also just see, like, very clearly, it is Mickey's Keyblade inside the box. The Kingdom Key D.
Where is it?
It was in one of the episodes of, like, the Mickey TV show on Disney Plus.
Oh, well, I don't think that's really indicative of anything.
Well, yes, like, if it was a one-off and it was, like, in the Mickey Mouse show, like, that's one thing. But also in the Proud Family remake, or reboot. In the Proud Family reboot, one of the characters is playing what is clearly Kingdom Hearts as well. And it's like, why do you keep putting Kingdom Hearts in these TV shows? Like, what does the Proud
because
family
they
have to
technically
do?
have the rights to it?
Like, what does Proud Family have to do with Kingdom Hearts that, like, one of the characters is clearly playing it?
I don't know, just because they have the rights to it, and so it makes it an easy video game to do instead of having to come up with one?
I don't know. I think we're getting an anime on Disney Plus. Because that's the thing. They can't... This giant celebration can't
We'll see. I'm
just
definitely
be
not
for one
opposed
game.
to it, but, like, I just...
Unless they're going to blow out, like, this whole
Well,
game
it's
and
not...
release it in a month.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's just that it obviously there's a lot of things going on before the reveal portion of the event.
Yeah.
But
like holding this giant event and being like, here's like an announcement for one game that won't be out for 3 years. Like that doesn't make for a super great event.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll definitely see by tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, we might not see, because I guess they're like not live streaming the event. They're just gonna release it like several days after the fact. But let's be real, the internet's gonna spoil it.
Yeah. Oh, the internet's gonna leak it, and I'm. It's just easier to follow those leaks because.
Yeah.
Why? Look. Why you have to wait? I mean, literally, if Hololive can freaking do an expo live on YouTube, why can't you, Square?
Yeah. So we're not gonna cover it live because no, we're not gonna try to like hunt these leaks down live, but we will talk about it after the fact, when we get all the information.
It's not like we'd be able to anyways. The reveals are happening at 4 a.m. my time and 5 a.m. yours.
Oof, yeah. So yeah, so we're just like, well, I'll be up at 5 a.m. Oh no, it's
Yeah, but
tomorrow.
I'm not getting up at 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never mind, I won't be up by then. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna see him whenever I see him. I'm not gonna avoid spoilers. But we'll discuss it after the event properly is aired. But we'll have known about it beforehand. But yeah.
Yeah, but we can still give our thoughts.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, we'll talk about it after it airs, but like, I'm not gonna avoid spoilers and like try to react to it. It's gonna be a discussion.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that's it for Kingdom Hearts. I think probably another orchestra tour as well.
Yeah. Gosh, we spent so much time on Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, we did. I talk a lot.
Do you want to just fast shot some other ones, or
favorite like games?
Games, anime, anything really, regardless.
Tweiwi, I've talked about quite a bit. Honestly, this whole channel's been a testament to that.
You could. Yeah, if you want to see our thoughts on it all.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say. It was highly impactful. It pretty much is the way I try to live is based off the idea, the world ends with you. Expand your horizons as far as they can go. Enjoy the moment with all that you've got. Like it changed my way of thinking. Yeah. Let's call it. So a lot of people probably think Tweiwi is my number one game, and it is so close. Like it, I honestly go back and forth with what my number one game is, but I probably wouldn't put this as number one. This is a number two that is like fighting for number one. And I think a lot of people would be surprised that my number one game is Sly Cooper, Band of Thieves.
Called it.
Yeah. No.
Called that it was Sly Cooper.
Yeah, it's Sly Cooper. Like I love. It's a very different tone than Tweiwi, obviously. But yeah, it's really good. I don't even know how to describe it. This is another one that, like, this is what I consider the first game I've played. I don't actually know that for a fact because, like, I pretty much had a controller in my hands from the time I was old enough to hold one. So I couldn't genuinely say what my first game was, but, like, this is the one that I claim is my first game. I just have so many fond memories. I would... I love the darker atmosphere of it. Even as a kid, I recognized the darker atmosphere than, like, Honor Among Thieves. Yeah, so Honor Among Thieves is 2, Band of Thieves is... No, Honor Among Thieves is 3, Band of Thieves is 2. Devious Raccoon is 1. What... I played all of them. I played all of them, like, the entire time. 1 was very different. It was much more, like, almost Crash Bandicoot-esque, where, like, you had very linear levels, and you had to get a reward at the end of the level to then get to the boss. Not a bad game at all, but, like, there was only 5 worlds, and it was very linear. 2 was so great, because you got to play as Murray and Bentley, and I loved playing as Bentley. Bentley was so much fun to play as. All of the locations you go to were big open worlds, and, like, you were doing stuff to set up for, like, this giant mission, and, like, all of the levels or missions all felt like they had a purpose. They were all building towards the ending to that little open world area. The darker atmosphere in all of them. You know, you're a thief in the night. You know, you're not dealing with a whole lot of, like, bright space, like, bright daylight. 3, like, you do missions at, like, several different times of day, but, like, the whole game is just a lot brighter than 2 was. But I thought, like, that misses the point. 3 was also highly unfocused, like 2 was. Like, 2 isn't made... Like, I don't know what I can really say about it. Because it really is just, like, nostalgia. But I still enjoy them. Like, I played them not that long ago, and it's still a super fun game. It's just fun nostalgia. I love Sly Cooper. I would only want a Sly Cooper 4 if Sucker Punch was to make it. And I know a lot of people are going to be screaming that, what do you mean? There's Sly Cooper, Thieves in Time. Yeah, I said I want Sly Cooper 4 by Sucker Punch. That game doesn't exist. Sensoru sucks. Yeah, so that's my thoughts.
Yeah.
I love 1 and 2 as well. 1 and 3 as well. Jeez. 1 and 3 are both great.
Yeah, I don't really have any experience with them, so can't really comment much on them.
Yeah, so Sly is, like, the most acrobatic of the 3, and it's essentially, like, I don't want to say, like, Kitty's, like, first Assassin's Creed, especially because this was actually before Assassin's Creed. Yeah, like, basic plot summary is, I forget how long after, but it's a year or a few years after the first game. You had defeated Clockwork, who is this immortal bird that sacrificed all of his body parts for robot parts, so he could try and destroy the Cooper family throughout, like, every generation. You defeated him in the first game. All the pieces were hung up at a museum, so you go and try to steal the pieces, and then you find out a group called the Claw Gang had already come and stolen the pieces before you could get there. So you are having to travel across the world to find the Claw Gang and take back the stolen pieces before they fall into the wrong hands and are used to rebuild Clockwork. The running joke is jump and hit the circle button, because every action you do in the game involves jumping and hitting the circle button. But, like, Sly is the only one that can really, like, climb or do, like, rail walking or whatever. Murray is too big, but he's just like a tank. Like, he just deals damage. But Bentley was super fun because he had a like crossbow that shoots sleeping darts, and then he also had bombs, so you could just put guards to sleep and then drop a bomb next to him and run away. And it was great. Like, there were bosses. Like, it actually had a kind of deep story, where like there were bosses that went between multiple areas. So, like, the game's like divided up by like episodes, and I think there was like 8 episodes. But like, several bosses have like 2 episodes dedicated to them. The clue bottles were great. So there would be like 30 clue bottles scattered among each area, and like it gave you a reason to explore each area. I don't know. Yeah, at some point, I just need to like replay them, and I would totally make a formal review where I go more in depth. But like, this is off the top of my head. I don't know exactly what I can say. I love the game.
Fair enough.
It holds up.
Yeah. Yeah. As for me, gosh, there's 3 game series that I want to tackle, but I'll tackle them in like my ranking order because they are like my top 3 franchises. So starting at the bottom would be Bravely Default. That franchise, I just really like it. It's I get it's like kind of has like the basic premise, but what they do with it is quite clever, and I just really like the way that they utilize game mechanics in ways that you wouldn't expect them to. I don't want to really say more, but it is pretty fun what they're able to do with it.
Yeah, I have very little experience with Daily, or not Daily, Bravely Default.
Bravely.
I said Bravely.
No, you said Dearly.
Did I say Dearly again? I said Bravely Default. Jeez.
Yeah. Oh no. Not the second time. You corrected yourself the second time, but you started with Dearly the first time.
No, I knew. That's why I corrected myself. I was like Daily. Nope.
I was just saying Bravely to help you to get your mind on the right path.
Yeah. I played like the demo for one of the games, and the demo like didn't really do much for me. I forget if it was the second or the first game.
The demo is really just a like it's really just to introduce you to the combat. The demos of Bravely Default I don't think are the best at like basically like showcasing the story.
Yeah.
The story I think is like they leave a lot of the story out. You have to get the game to experience it.
Fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't get a whole lot. Like even with combat wise, I felt like I didn't really grasp what they were going for with the combat. I know it has something to do with
the
defaulting.
combat the demos are really bad too because like they lock your ability to class level up, and a lot of Bravely Default stuff relies on you be like maxing out the classes at level 12 and having all their abilities and whatnot, and then changing it up and whatnot, and building like your perfect like not like a perfect build, but what like a build that works well to you in order to like handle battles well and whatnot.
Okay.
It's really fun, and it's honestly I like it. There's a lot of strategy to it and whatnot. I mean, there's also a lot of grinding, just because getting job points is not easy. But I don't know. I never mind grinding, so I always have fun with that. I would include the Dynasty Warriors spin-offs in this because I didn't have fun with those games, but I'm just gonna leave it at that. There are different ones. They're pretty fun, but if you don't like hack and slash repetitiveness, then it's just not for you.
We still need to do the Hyrule Warriors race.
Yeah, but that That isn't like my second one, but it's just because it kind of reminded me of Bravely Default in grindiness. Yeah. My second one is Fire Emblem. And
which one?
Despite Eric, I don't know. I had a lot of fun with Radiant Dawn, but I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah, mine for the longest time was 7, and then Echoes, and Echoes stole my heart. I love everything they did with Echoes. Was great.
Like, don't get me wrong, I definitely do like Echoes. I also really like Awakening, much as you probably disagree. But
Awakening's fine. It saved the
yeah,
franchise.
no.
I just
Three
didn't
Houses
like
is
the
pretty
direction.
good too.
Yeah. So, big Fire Emblem fan. I actually grew up on
The only
GBA
Fire
games.
Emblem. The only Fire Emblem game that I've played that I haven't been too big of a fan of is Fates, for obvious reasons.
Yeah. So my history, it came back till Fates, and then I bought Awakening after learning about Fates, because then I had an intrigue enough to go back to it. Awakening was fine. I just
you see, I got Awakening a little bit after the Awakening like DLC ended.
yeah, no, I didn't get it till after, well, not close to the Fates release. I think I got like 2 or 3 months before Fates released in the West. I didn't think Awakening was necessarily like terrible. I saw the direction it was heading, and I was like, this is gonna be bad. And then Fates came out, and I was vindicated. It's not my favorite. It's not terrible. I didn't like the direction it was heading. I'm not a fan of the waifu stuff that they've been going, but I think Three Houses in some ways was a step in the right
that stuff
direction.
has always kind of been there.
No, supports have been there. I don't have a problem with supports, but like there was no shipping in Fire Emblem 7. That wasn't a thing.
It's existed before though. It's not that the shipping stuff is original.
Wait, which games had shipping before Awakening?
It's called a good old genealogy of the Holy War. It's called...
Did I want to shipping? I actually don't know a whole lot about the Japanese exclusives.
Yeah, genealogy of the Holy War is the one that introduced the idea of Gen 2 units.
Oh, I did not know that. Well, I guess that makes sense. It's the genealogy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it sounds like that game was also built
literally
around
Awakening had it. Well, yeah, no, it definitely was because the first half and the second half are like entirely separated.
Yeah, so that I don't have to say I have a problem with, because that sounds actually very interesting. Story having 2 different generations of warfare.
Yeah, because Sigurd is killed off in a really really silly way.
Oof. Okay, maybe not.
Also, don't know what it is with Kaga and really liking having heroines being brainwashed by the main villains, but whatever.
Yeah. Three Houses.
Literally in the first 3, like literally the first four games, Eric, every single time the main heroine has been brainwashed by the big bad.
Really? I guess yeah, Celica definitely was. Yeah. Hey, it's a tag. Moving on.
Yeah.
Three Houses to me was disappointing. Yeah. I think it was some steps in the right direction. Like they kind of moved away from the shipping stuff.
I just also think you had a bad experience because you played the unfinished route first.
There was no ending. I played the Edelgard route. I don't know why people like that route.
Oh, I'm not saying that it doesn't exist, but yeah.
No, I'm saying it doesn't exist.
Yeah, no, it's an unfinished route. Fire Emblem fans agree. It's like the worst route in Three Houses because it doesn't like it just doesn't end.
No, like it's like Monty Python and the Holy Grail kind of ending. Like it does like for those of you that don't know what story structure is, Monty Python and the Holy Grail doesn't have an ending. Like yes, it does technically end.
Like typical sense.
Yeah, Well, no, yeah, like that's what
it does have like the, like, it's the end card thing. It's done in like a few other things I know, but or at least I know there are other things that have done that like end card thing because like Fire Emblem has like the epilogue end cards, but the problem with Crimson Flowers end cards is that the story technically says, and so the story continues instead of like every single other route where it's like peace was brought to the land and they did such and such with their life and didn't worry about anything else.
Can are we going into spoilers? It sounds like we're going into spoilers.
It's about a 3-year-old game. I think we've talked about spoilers on like all the games that we've talked about, so it's fine.
So spoilers for the Crimson route, Crimson Flower, whatever. Like literally, you defeat the dragon,
Crimson
and then
Flower
like, you defeat the dragon, and then Byleth like collapses, and then you see the Crest of Seals like in his heart, a Crest of Flames seal in his heart like shatter, and then like Edelgard cries and then smiles, and then we get like the end card thing that says like, congratulations, except you're still continuing your fight against those that slither in the dark. And it's like, what was any of this? I defeat the dragon, and literally the only thing I see is the Crest of Flames.
I'm like, I've heard people who Eric, just let me just interject for a sec. I've heard people defend it and be like, yeah, because Edelgard achieved her goal of destroying the crest system. That's why it's the ending. I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense because she's quite opposed to those who slither in the dark as well.
And also, I don't remember her ever bringing up those that slither in the dark until like the end card thing. I'm like, what does that mean?
No, it's better mentioned in other routes. It's really why you should play Crimson Flower last instead of first. But people really liked Edelgard a bit too much and decided to play it first when I think it gives like the absolute worst experience of Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Yeah. No, I definitely was burned by the ending. I'm not gonna lie about that. But even then, like, Echoes did a lot of really cool stuff that I wish they like brought back, like the dungeon crawling. I actually really enjoyed the dungeon crawling. I thought it could have been more fleshed out, and then it just didn't have
and also Eric, if you want to choose Black Eagles, you also get the other worst story route.
The problem is
because basically Verdant Wind is just Silver Snow, but done better.
I hate that the best characters are locked behind the worst route. Oh, okay, also, I did recruit
I don't know
everybody.
about you, but in my opinion, the Black Eagles characters... I mean, the Black Eagles characters are, I mean, I like a few, but a lot of them to me are just meh.
Oh no, Black Eagles. I'm the opposite. Black Eagles, I love all of them. Oh gosh, whoop. That was unexpected. That just came out of nowhere. Black Eagles, all but like Petra. Petra kind of annoyed me. Like I loved all of them for the most part. But like the other house, it's like okay, I have one or two characters I really like, but besides those two, like the rest of the house just does nothing for me. In fact, I disliked a lot of Golden Deer.
Yeah. I'm not too big on a lot of Golden Deer's cast as well. Blue Lions, I think, has the best cast.
Yeah, like Blue Lions, like I like Mercedes. Mercedes is my favorite. I'm blanking on names. It's been so long since I played it.
Mercedes, Annette, Ingrid, Sylvain, Felix, and Ash.
Like
other
Sylvain
than
was
Badu
cool.
and Dimitri.
Yeah, like Mercedes and like Ash was alright. I kind of liked Ash.
I think Sylvain is the best. Sylvain is literally the best type of doing the womanizer trope, like, but right, like, and doing it in such a way that it makes sense in his character.
Yeah. No, Sylvain and Mercedes, like, I really liked. Ash is alright. Everyone else, I was just like, whatever. I don't really care.
Ash is a really good boy. Ingrid is really good as well. And then Annette's really good as well. Like, you
That said,
don't sleep on Annette. I think Annette is honestly Annette is the best girl in Blue Lions.
Bernadetta is broken as frick. If I forget what the class is called.
I've only had middling results with Annette. I've had better results from Ash as an archer than Bernadetta.
No, don't make her an archer. I forget what the class is called, but make her the white mage that's on horseback. I forget what that one's called.
Oh, Holy Knight?
Holy Knight? Yeah. Make her a Holy Knight. You will not regret it.
I've had I've had better Holy Knights as well. Marianne was definitely the best Holy Knight I've had.
You didn't max out her magic then.
What does she get?
She has. What's the movement of a Holy Knight? Like 8 spaces.
Yeah.
She can run through enemies, like just run straight past them, like even if they're in a chokehold, and she learns teleport or warp or whatever it is. And
warp can be done by Lysithea, who's a far better black mage, and pass is just a skill that you can get.
What do you mean pass?
Pass is a skill that you can get just by doing, I believe it's the thief class. Although I think Bernadetta might have hers just under.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I think hers is just built in through her unique skill. But even then, I'm like, pass isn't that great of a skill to begin with.
Dude, I literally have beaten the final boss to Crimson Flower in one turn, just by using Bernadetta, Dancer, Byleth, and what's her name? Edelgard.
Yeah, and I've been able to build a team that took down the Blue Lions final route with just a teleport of a Pegasus Knight, Ingrid, Lysithea, and I forget what was the last one. I think it was just Dimitri, and destroyed it in like pretty quick pretty quick concession.
I don't know. I'm just saying, Bernadetta is a beast. Like, look up Bernadetta builds. I'm not alone. This is the one thing. This is the one time where I'm not alone. Bernadetta, by many people, is considered the best character, like, based off her.
No, Lysithea. I hear Lysithea far more.
Damage dealing, yes, but support, like, by far, it is
Support. I hear by far is Mercedes or Marianne.
It's Bernadetta. I'm telling you. Anyways.
I don't know where you're hearing that. Clearly, it's wrong.
Clearly, you're wrong. What's your number one?
Well, you should be able to assume by now, as I haven't mentioned it.
Tails?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what the turn-based one you were talking about was. Oh, Bravely Default.
Bravely Default. Yeah.
What's your favorite Tails? I actually don't know.
But, it's... Okay, well, I do like the gameplay of Tales of Shelia 2, just because it refines Tales of Shelia's gameplay to perfection. I prefer Tales of Shelia 1 for its story. Tales of Shelia 2's story is pretty good, too. I like Tales of Shelia 1 more.
Fair enough.
Tales of Symphonia Dawn of the New World is a close second for me, though. Okay. And a lot of people don't like that game, but I do. I really like Tales of Symphonia Dawn of the New World.
What about Arise?
Arise, to me, it's not a horrible Tales of game. I just wouldn't say it's, like, top-tier Tales either.
Fair enough.
Like, it's a good game. It's just not what other Tales games have been to me.
Fair enough.
It's how I feel... Okay, I'll put it this way. I feel better about it than Grace's F. And, like, well, people are like, but Grace's F has the best combat in the game. I'm like, I don't care about the CC system, though.
Yeah.
The CC system, to me, is... It's, like, a way higher complexity system than, like, Vesperia. I think Vesperia's combat, next to Shelia's, are, like, probably where I'd say my favorite Tales of combat is at.
Okay.
But I think Tales of Shelia is more beginner-friendly than Tales of Vesperia.
I'm going to be honest, most of these names are going over my head.
Berseria, I like the story. Gameplay is not good. And Zestiria can go rot in a fire.
Tell me what you really feel. Tell me how you really feel.
No, Tales of Zestiria... Tales of Zestiria... Its characters aren't bad. I don't hate its characters. If they're in another game and not the main cast. because literally Sorey is probably the most blandest Tales of protagonist I've seen.
I've mentioned
And
before.
man, is that saying something compared to Asbel and his power of friendship BS.
I've mentioned before my like only experience with Tales of being Tales of Abyss, right?
Yeah.
For those of you who
You
don't
see, I
know,
can't judge Luke. I can't judge Luke until I complete Abyss. I understand he's annoying in the beginning, but I cannot judge him until I've seen his entire character arc. I have seen Sorey's entire character arc, and he's still not that good.
yeah. So for those of you who don't know, the I ended up having like a bunch of PS2 games. I was going through them. I'm like, man, like I played so many of these, but there's still so many I haven't even played, and I own all of them, so I might as well play them. So it was like a day where I set aside like 5 games. I'm like, I'm gonna give each game like an hour of time, and just like play them just to see what they're like. And one of those happened to be Tales of Abyss, and I got maybe 20 minutes in, and then I just had to stop because I could not stand Luke at all. He was the most obnoxious character I'd ever seen, and I was just like, nope, I'm done.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. I understand that sentiment. I just feel like, because I know what I've heard about Luke later on. So I'm like, I really want to hold my judgments against Luke until I actually finish Abyss. And I need to like either A, find the PS2 version or restart my 3DS version because I'm like, I do not remember where the heck I was at in that thing when I picked it up. But just also the 3DS version just isn't good to play. I need Tails to be like on a physical console. Actually, also I should say I like Core, and yes, I'll say Core instead of Shing, even though I get it. What? Gosh, yeah. No, if you think the Fire Emblem fandom gets heated over games, you have not seen the Tales of fandom. But yeah.
Fair enough.
Arise is being treated like Awakening to like hardcore Fire Emblem fans.
Where it's like, this game
I'm
ain't even
like,
great.
well, I mean, either you get people who are like who are a bit more like I'd say a bit more realistic about it, and that like it's not the greatest game ever, but it's still pretty good for a Tales of game. But the combat could be improved in some areas, especially with the enemies being like practically like they don't even move when you hit them, so it's like combos don't really feel like they're combos. Um, at least when it comes to like people who really enjoy the Tales of series for like combat.
Okay.
But but then there's just some people who are like straight out hating the game because it's not what's been prior and whatnot. But I'm like, people, if you wanted to have your complaints about this, go back to Graces. That game like shifted how the game played quite a bit as well. And like, while I by no means hate Graces, its gameplay style just like to me, I didn't enjoy that much. It's not that it's bad. It's just like technically way too advanced for like what should be expected just to be the main story even. I'm like there's some massive like amounts of like difficulty curve on like the final bosses and graces that I'm just like I had to turn the game down to very easy to be able to like even be able to beat it. I'm like I shouldn't have to do that for a Tales of game. I've beaten Tales of games on like normal and hard pretty easily.
Yeah. Yeah. I also need to go again. So, you want to stall for like 2 minutes?
Sure, yeah, just because I have so many just um when it comes to anime, oh shoot. There was one that I know that I would put up there, other than like Kaguya-sama, which is great both as a manga and an anime. But shoot, I watched so much. Oh, Kisniver. Kisniver is a pretty underrated trigger show in my opinion. It's I really like just the idea of like through like, and I get like the plot's a bit contrived towards the end for it, but just the idea of seven people being linked together to share like their pain and emotions through like physically and whatnot, and how they grow from that is, it was such an interesting concept, and I also just really like the OP from it, especially as it was that band's last song as the it's very much a like, I think it's based off of like the musician, like what he was going through in the hospital, and so just the thing behind that song is really nice to me, and it's such a good song too. I forget what it. Oh, it's "Lay Your Hands on Me" by Boom Boom Satellites. That's what it was. But yeah, no, it's pretty good. Other than that, what's another one? It's like anime original. Great Pretender, I think we've already brought up, but that'll be more in depth for like another time. Hmm. What else is there? Now there's one that I just cannot remember for the life of me.
Okay.
You're back?
Yep.
Okay.
I guess that's what happens when I drink a large soda right before streaming.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you had like your headphones in like last time, but
yeah, I did.
yeah.
Something about a band, and something about like the singer in the hospital.
Yeah, no, the opening for the show called Kids Sniper, it was like the last song done by this band called Boom Boom Satellites, because the like the singer was I think he had like a terminal disease and whatnot, and like he was very like close to death when he like was singing it, but it was like, and the song is like about like just like being able to reach out to him on his hospital bed and whatnot. It's a pretty good song.
Hmm. Okay. Well, that's a little sad.
Yeah, no, it I guess those two are pretty, yeah.
I think I don't know. I'm trying to think of other anime that I would list. Wotakoi was really good. Um, and I definitely would not put Salaryman's Club at, on my top list. But a lot of the reasons why I like Wotakoi is the reasons why I like Salaryman's Club. And I bet a lot of people are like, what do those two things have anything to do in common? But I love how like both, like one of them's a romance and one of them is a sports anime, and yet both of them show a different side to life than most anime, and that like the older characters that are in the workforce, working a regular 9 to 5, so like the episodes that are dedicated to not the romance or not the sports, but are just dedicated to like them doing their job because they have jobs. And I kind of really enjoy that, like different aspect and take, because it's something you don't see a lot. So, but Waterkoi is really great.
I feel like I've seen it before. Just I feel like I like from what you said, I feel like I've seen it before, but just very poorly. So
what, the sports thing or the job thing? I mean,
just like sports, but also balancing like life on top of it and whatnot.
yeah, I would not put it on one of my
For
top
the most
shows.
part.
Waterkoi is would be on one of my top shows, but um, it was just
Ooh,
the general
Recreators,
idea.
that one's a pretty good one.
It was just the general idea, because like that's something I find similar to Waterkoi in Salaryman's Club. Uh, I don't think it's necessarily the best handled, um, but it's a decent show. Like I'd recommend it. It's not bad. It's just not my favorite. But
Fair enough.
are you done with Tales or?
Yeah, I think I was pretty much about done with Tales. Well, actually, before I end it, I guess I just should say why Tales of Shelia is like my favorite. Because I don't know. people may have like middling opinions about that game and whatnot, but in my opinion, I just really like the like at least one of the main characters, Jude, and like just his journey to like discover like what he has conviction for and what to fight for and whatnot. Because at like towards the start of the game, he's just a character who kind of was like following Mila, the other main character, and like her goal, but like towards like the halfway point, he like figures out like what he wants to do himself and tries to strive towards that goal.
Okay.
Yeah. That was
I think I don't know. I'm trying to think. Like, I don't like when characters are aimless, but also sounds like that could be pretty cool, depending on when he learns what he wants to do.
well, like, you see, it's not like he's aimless. It's just that he's not following his own conviction at that point.
Okay. Because like, that's my thing with like Rindo, where it's like Rindo just doesn't do anything, and it's like, okay, I don't really like. I didn't
like
see
it's
his growth.
like Jude's striving for a goal in the beginning, but it's not his own goal that he's striving towards.
Okay.
Like instead, like towards like around the halfway point, due to like story circumstances, he has to find his own answer to things to move forward.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, that sounds like it'd be better. That actually sounds kind of cool, story wise. I don't like the gameplay of Tales of. I've tried, Berseria. I've tried.
I do think Shelia is like I think Shelia is honestly like the most beginner friendly, even more so than Arise. Like Arise is pretty simple, but I feel like Tales is fun when like it's both simple, but you can understand where you can like find the complexities to do stuff and whatnot.
Yeah.
I just think it also has the like while Tales of Arise has like something similar from Shelia, which is like they have in Arise called boost strikes where it's like the team up attack thing, but Shelia that's like the main mechanic and there's a whole bunch more than just like the sick like I think like the set number between each combination in Arise.
Okay. Yeah. Uh, I don't know how much to add. Like I've tried Tales of. You don't like the way I describe it, but it's very combo heavy, and I don't do well with combo heavy. Like it's not
It's
combo.
like
But
honestly, you don't even need to be like it is combos, sure, but you don't need to be like perfect at combos in order to do well in the game.
yeah, I don't know. I've tried it. Maybe I'll give it another try. I don't know. I just don't have to pay for it, and then not.
I'm like, I'll say this: Arise is probably the easiest game to get by spamming just like one combo of arts, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Like literally, you just want the Tales of Arise. While not a bad game, towards the end game, enemies literally become damage sponges, in that they literally will do. They literally are nothing but just standing there taking all your damage, and that's all you're about to. That's all you do to them. Like it's like why I say Arise isn't bad per se. Like it's just very kind of middling for a Tales of game.
Fair enough. I guess I only really have one more to talk about. We talked about Kingdom Hearts, Treyway, Sly Cooper, Story Cloud. Well, quick honorable mention, because this game wouldn't even appear on my top 10. I know we're not doing an actual top 10. But Shadow of the Colossus, even though it wouldn't appear on my top 10, if you ask me what I think a perfect game is, it's Shadow of the Colossus. I don't. It's so focused in what it sets out to do, and I think it knocks it out of the park. And I don't think there's really a flaw in its execution at all. I know a lot of people don't like the controls. In the PS4 version, you can button map it to your heart's content. But I don't even have a problem with the original game's controls. I play with the original controls for triangle, jump. But I just think that game is amazing work of art. Not necessarily my top 10 though, but what would be in my top 10, probably number 3 on my list, is Persona 5. I didn't even get into Persona until Joker's reveal in Smash Bros. And I'm like, I don't know who this character is, but this is the coolest crap ever. I loved it because it even in the Smash Bros. Trailer, because I remember tuning into the Game Awards as I was about to go pick up my copy of Smash Bros. I tuned in on my phone, and like literally like 2 minutes after I tuned in, the lights go out as what's his name, Jeff Keighley, was talking, and
Jeff Keighley.
Yeah, Jeff Keighley was talking. Like the lights go out, and then we get the screen glitching out before the Phantom Thief logo, and we just hear Joker say, "I have infiltrated the building, or I've infiltrated the theater." And I'm like, I don't know what this is, but like this is everything that I love. Like rogues, scoundrels, thieves, breaking into it, the style that it breathed. I'm like, I don't know anything about this, but this looks awesome, and I have to play it. So I bought Persona 5 like right up when I got Smash Bros. And I actually beat it the last day of my senior year of high school was when I beat Persona 5. Yeah, it was super fun. I thought the story was great. I actually thought it doesn't do a perfect job, but I think it does a pretty good job balancing the story, because the spoilers, but the story takes a major shift in the last month of the game. Like, it goes from a personal story to like a world-ending story in the span of like one in-game week. Not even like 2 days in game. But I loved its style. I loved the characters were great. The story was very impactful at certain points. Futaba's palace was amazing. Akuma's palace can suck it.
Yeah, I think we agree Okumura's palace just sucks.
Yeah. Akechi, a lot of people love him as this like cinnamon roll that did nothing wrong. Some people hate him because like he's not a well-written character and pancakes. But like I don't love him as much as the like actual like Akechi lovers love him. But I love him as a foil to Joker, and like what he represents as like the other trickster. Like, he should have been Joker. Legitimately. Like, the game flat out admits he should have been Joker. He was made the trickster. And he has similarities in the backstory of like being screwed over by people. And yet he let himself be used.
Especially the final boss. Well, especially the final human boss of Persona 5.
Yes. And it's like, it's so well done. Like, if he had just chosen to let go of that, he could have done serious good and could have prevented Joker from even needing to exist. But like, because he let like his resentment build up, he let himself be used, and that's what led to his downfall. And going down the wrong path that Joker didn't go down. I love that. And for as much as people love to make fun of the pancakes thing, that was my favorite part of the game. Was Joker, spoilers by the way, but Joker in jail. We see.
I mean, that's not really spoilers. We see that at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, but I was gonna go more into like the catchy. But yeah, the catchy coming in and shooting him.
Oh well, spoilers for the breakout portion towards the back half of the game.
Yeah, but yeah, Catchy comes in and shoots him, and leaves, and then we see all of the Phantom Thieves mourning in quotation marks, the news that the Phantom Thief leader was killed, and then we see Joker outside of the jail, perfectly alive, and we get the whole explanation of how they knew that Akechi was the traitor before he even made his first move. And they planned this whole elaborate setup to trick Akechi into thinking he killed Joker so that they could come back and end things truly once and for all. That whole explanation scene,
yeah,
like, made the game for me. My favorite moment. And some gaming.
I don't know.
In general.
I mean, I like Persona. I like Persona 5 and all, and Persona like from what I know of Persona 4 and Persona 3 as well. Like, I like it. I don't know. I just don't love it as much as like Eric does here.
Yeah, I love the confidant system. And like it made me go back to Persona 3 FES. I own Persona 4 on the PS2. I bought them after the fact. I just haven't had the chance to play them. I played till about June, I think, of Persona 3. I've not FES, but I've not played Persona 4 at all. I really like 3 though. 3 is really cool. I also need to play 1 and 2. And this is not a comment on the story at all. But I have played a little bit of 1 and 2 actually. A little bit. Gameplay wise, I'm sorry they are not for me. Like I don't like the gameplay of them. I've tried it. Like I've given it more than
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Persona 1 and 2 are like very different from like the rest of the series from what I've heard as well.
I know a lot of people say 2 is their favorite game in the series, and I don't want to say any judgments on the story of 2 because that very well may be. But like, man, like I've not played that much of 2. I only put like maybe 10 minutes of 2 in. But like I played 1 and I got lost pretty much immediately. Like even following a guide, I still don't know what I'm doing in 1. But you know, I've done quite a few combat things, and like 1 is not for me. It the combat system is completely different.
Yeah,
like,
which is fair enough.
Yeah. So I don't want to comment on the stories. I
yeah
100% respect the people that like 2 the most. My whole thing is I don't want to be the Persona.
Yeah, I got.
But yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, I'm the type of person who got in through Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, so I mean, you know.
Oh no. Yeah. I mean, I tried to.
I got in through the fighting game spin-off.
Yeah, I'm trying to like educate myself on Persona. I don't want to sound like the Persona noob that only played Persona 5 and say Persona 5 is the best. I actually think story-wise, 3 was shaping up to be better than 5. I love the themes of 3 a whole lot. I think the whole Memento Mori thing, like the not overcoming death, but just accepting death as a reality, and the death of like not just the physical death, but the death of relationships, the death of marriages, the death of whatever. Like
Yeah,
I love that whole.
I don't know. Like, while I get 3's themes, I don't know. I kind of like the theme of 4 more of like reaching towards the truth, but I don't know. That's just me. I mean, while I like, I'll agree that like maybe the way Persona 4 goes about it isn't like maybe the best in like that way of like going for the theme. as it is kind of a bit more vague. I just do kind of like the idea of that theme a bit more, but that's just me.
Yeah, no. For me, the Memento Mori theme is like that is awesome. I want to beat 3 really badly, and I want to be knowledgeable and not sound like a Persona baby. And I'm sure I probably do sound like the Persona baby by saying 1 and 2's gameplay is not great. I to be fair, I don't know how much 2 is different than 1. I've only played like literally like 10 minutes, and that was mostly the opening cutscene. So I don't.
Fair enough.
So I'm not necessarily going to comment on 2 at all. 1's gameplay, like, I got out of the hospital, and then I was so confused on where to go after I got out of the hospital, and a guy didn't help me find where I needed to be. And, like, navigating the town is not that fun. I'm sorry. Story could be great. I'm not going to deny it. I don't know. But,
From what I've heard, it sounds pretty interesting. Just yeah, no, it's understandable if the gameplay's not for you.
One day I will be 1 and 2, just not today.
Yeah. As we I think we're getting pretty close to wrapping this up. I'm just gonna rapid fire some other shows that I really like, just real quick from anime and I guess dash manga. Real quick. So starting with Punchline, a really good ecchi show that actually gets better the second time you watch it once you understand everything that's going on. And it's not because of the etchiness. Yamada-kun and the Seven Witches, a really good rom-com. With some interesting mysteries. Let's see. I'll say this a lot, but I like animes that only adapt one light novel. So, Roka Breva, The Six Flowers in 86 definitely ended up on like my list just because they only adapted one volume for 86 at least for half their season, and for Roka no Yusha, it was their entire run. um, the Monogatari series, it's really good. I don't know exactly how to explain it, but I really like it. And then two more, and then Bakuman, great like manga about manga. Um, and then Recreators, also just another show exploring like people who create stuff. To which I guess Blue Period kind of falls into that category as well, but yeah.
As for me, the only one that I haven't said, I don't think. I mean, Anohana is really good. I liked Anohana. But I was going to say Komi manga. I got into Komi manga like October 2020. I got in because of COVID or quarantine. I need something to do, and Josh recommended it, and I was like, okay, dope.
I remember us reading through like a good portion of it that one night.
Yeah. So I read it during quarantine because I had nothing better, and it was really good, and I kept up with it. I'm behind now because I've just been super busy and haven't had time to read, but I kept up with it until December, and then I plan on catching up. I just give me like 2 weeks and then I'll catch up.
Yeah, no, I know you'll catch up. There's just been some really good like chapters recently that I've just been recommending, but I know you're busy as well, so.
I know we talked about
yeah,
the anime, but the manga's really good.
Yeah. No, well, I think we're gonna try and get into discussing the manga after like the anime finishes up, but yeah, we have to kind of catch up on that first.
I hope they eventually end up adapting the whole thing. But then again, they may not be at this pace, because this pace is kind of insane.
Well, I mean, at this pace, they're only going to finish up year one, which is like a little over 100 chapters, and
I mean, like between season 1 and season 2, there's only a single season.
Well, yeah, but I don't think it's gonna continue at that pace.
Yeah.
If anything, I see the season 2 as more of like a season 1 part 2, in my opinion. But
yeah, I hope they take a little bit of break and then do season 3 and season 3. Yeah, but I want them to eventually get the whole manga.
Yeah, I do think they will. I mean, as long as like the anime does well and whatnot, but I think it should. I mean, considering has been like a long-awaited adaptation and whatnot.
Yep. Hopefully. Yeah. I'm trying to think. I don't have a whole lot of anime recommendations. Tokyo Mirage Sessions I really enjoyed. That was actually technically my first Persona-esque experience. I know it was an SMT crossover, but even SMT fans were like, "This is more Persona than SMT."
Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank, great trilogy on the PS2. Deadlock was also really good. Everything after that is trash. But like Ratchet and Clank, 1, Going Commando, Up Your Arsenal, Deadlock, amazing games, all of them.
Yeah. If that's about it, I think we can wrap it up then.
Maybe.
Yeah.
No, we will be here forever.
No, I think we should wrap it up, but this has been fun. This has been our first anniversary. I don't know if the second one will be as long as this one ended up being, but
Also, hopefully we'll have more fun.
If
like,
anyone
stuff
is
going on.
Yeah, I mean, but if anyone made it to this point, thank you so much for watching. And please look forward to more content that we'll have coming up in this next year. As for that, thank you, and we'll be back soon.
And in case we don't see you again, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Truman Show reference. Great movie.